100%. My mic's probably a problem here. I don't know.
What's wrong with the mic?
What's Ramin doing now? Oh, God.
Nice shirt.
It never stops around here.
No, it never stops.
Anyways, welcome up, guys. Oh my God, it has arrived. It has arrived. What is this for exactly? Hold on, you're not even connected here. All right, well, we wanted to thank everybody, of course. Today we had made quite the... Pull muscle in the arm over there. Yeah, today was fantastic. I want to thank everybody, obviously, as we go here on YouTube today. We were lucky enough to have hit 500,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for all of that. We have over 5,000 videos, over 500,000 subscribers, and millions of hours now streamed out there on YouTube. So we want to thank everybody for being there. Millions of minutes, I guess, probably not hours. But thank you so much to everybody for being there. And I guess now we got to figure out how to pop.
We have glasses or anything?
Oh my God. We got the good stuff up in here. All right, well, thank you, Brendo, for that. We'll be doing that nice and cold. We'll have a little sip throughout the afternoon, and we'll get a dare. We'll do it live, and we got everybody going.
Throughout the afternoon, I mean,
if we pop it soon, I guess we'll have having it once.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, we got to find out some. Go get those paper cups there, Fabian.
Paper cups? Oh, we're not doing that.
Do we have real? Do we have real stuff?
I thought we had some stuff in the.
We have the good china
above the fridge. Someone check above the fridge. Anyways.
Yeah,
no, because sometimes the boys would drink on the floor on Fridays, so there was supposed to be like a collection of stuff.
I do know that there is somewhat of a collection. But thank you to everybody.
Yeah, appreciate
we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, so we want to thank everybody, and thanks, Brendan, for grabbing this. We will be popping this champagne and
pop off.
The last time I think Brendan did it, it flew everywhere. I think we took out a couple lights, so we'll see if next time we can. This time we can get it all controlled. But thanks, Brendo, for that one as we go. So I don't have any positions right now. Yes, it's true. We'll wait to see if we could do that. Joe and I are going back and forth with the Qs there. Eventually pops to the upside. That was my latest trade. We'll probably show that eventually. But yeah, again, thank you to everybody. If you haven't hit the like and subscribe, join the party today. No better of a day to be a subscriber on such a monumental one. When did we turn the lights on? I should probably know that, and then we can figure out how long it was for us to get here. 5 years, I think?
It was the beginning of 2020. I just don't remember. I don't know the date. It was early.
I feel like it was March or April of 2020, maybe.
Yeah, it was the first quarter of 2020. I just don't.
There we go. So exactly. 5 years, 100,000 a year. Well, I feel like the million's going to come like within months.
I mean, if we're doing this for 500,000, we should go to Vegas for the million.
I just slipped that one in.
That's not self-serving at all.
Yeah, I did see that. There was a story there. Federal workforce right there. I just saw that. I don't think this has anything to do with the stocks, but right here we do have it. SPY, Trump moves to significantly reduce federal workforce. Not happening anything in the chat. I just saw someone post a little bit about Dogecoin there. Of course, we have talked about Dogecoin a few times on this show, and it's very interesting.
It is.
Fabian, what's up, Fabian? Okay, maybe they're planning on something over there. I don't want to give anything away.
Stare at this?
What they're doing.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, we don't. You're jonesing for some of that right now?
No, not at all. I have way too much willpower.
Vegas, yeah. I mean, we should be. Neil's never even been to Vegas.
I've never been to Vegas, and I didn't even mention this. My wife is going to Vegas on a conference in a couple of weeks. So.
And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So that's
how it
great.
Is, because she's a consultant now.
Yeah.
I was just in AMD. Let's go to very quickly. I was in two positions, one short, VWAP short on AMD. That's gone, and a VWAP long on Intel. Although I was short Intel. Excuse me, and then it reversed when it bounced off VWAP. So Intel's up 7.5 points today, which is distinctly different from just about everything. Like NVIDIA's flat today. NVIDIA's flat. Intel's up 7.5%. Tesla can't get out of its own way. Apple and Alibaba are partnering up. The market's all over the place. So this is the kind of volatility one. And we managed to go 5 minutes without talking about Firefly. Firefly has been ripping faces off pretty much all day long. Actually, $11.50 this got to, and I had this. I'm leaving this up just because I probably should have not scalped it. But anyways, it's held the trend from the morning, the whole day. It still has an $8 support here for the trend line on this stock. So the shorts there's been, I guess they would have won a little bit, and somebody took a couple 100,000 shares. You could see it on level 2. Somebody either was covering 100,000 multiple times, or they were short selling, which would be intense at the $10 level. You saw it happening in real time. Shreve was pointing it out in real time at that $10 level. So we'll see what happens. Chet GPT, thank you for the super chat. You called long off 333.5 on Tesla. Let's go. Well, I always hope Tesla goes up. So you're not going to get any argument from me.
I actually, I just double checked the time because I bought it in Canada. But I don't know if it's going to be a nice move or not. I bought more Tesla today. I basically tripled my position. I didn't have very much in Tesla to begin with. It was one of the Mag 7s, I guess, depending on, what is a Mag 7 these days, that hit for me. So we made the move down in Tesla. And I bought it at 1. I just looked at the time, so that's why I was looking. It was 1:32 is when I got to fill. So I guess that I'm basically long, kind of with you there. Maybe, yeah, probably like on a 3. Look, it looks like a 3:30 break. So that's pretty good. So I guess I'm long in and around 3:30 on the Canadian CDR. So if you go in like this, Tesla CC, I can tell you. Oh, I deleted the email. But anyways, so this is the price in Canadian funds. So we do have a Canadian ADR here for Tesla. So
fun fact:
new position initiated by me today on Tesla.
Broadcom's market cap is bigger than Tesla's right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Mag 7. You were just saying Mag 7. What?
Yeah.
Broadcom is bigger. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I think that. No, but I wasn't even sure if this wasn't still included in the Mag. So I guess it still is.
Yeah, I mean it's still
because they were calling it the Mag 6 for a while or whatever.
Well, you can just
it got kicked out.
If you want to kick it out, you can just toss Broadcom.
Yeah, I want to kick it back in. I'm long this thing now, so
kick it in.
We'll see what happens. Up an amazing 1% right now off that bottom. So,
got coffee.
All right, I got coffee. We've got the champagne. I mean, we'll see if I don't think it mixes that well, but champagne for 500,000. Thanks everybody for showing up and helping us get those levels. So we're gonna look for some more trades, but let's get ready to go because it is now time for the rundown.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. Boys are ready to go. They're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you guys. But the only way to get your tickers up onto the rundown is to join Joe and I during the How to Trade show, during the midday, and get into the chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day, but only the top few make it on. And you got to be a subscriber in order to get into the chat. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing the stream. Here is a look at the triple Qs. We're down about 0.2% on the NQ March contract. Likewise here with the ES about flat. The Dow also marginally green. Last time I looked up, it was 0.07, but the Russell 2000 decidedly red today, down 0.75%. So a bit of a tougher day for these small caps. Here's SMCI. We're reporting after the bell today. Make sure to catch it out in the market recap show. We're looking for about 75 pennies EPS on revenue of 6.13 billion. This stock has been awfully volatile both last year and this year. We'll have to see if they do well and do they update us on when they're actually going to release their financial audited statements.
I would love to look. Let's just hope that we get numbers after the bell from SMCI.
Ooh.
Because the fear would be, in this particular case, that there's for whatever reason, they don't report anything, and then, and they're down 8% right now. It would be nasty, I think, if we didn't get any numbers. There's no expected, there was no expected move, but what you can do if you're looking at it here, it was this website. Tools and options AI. Anyways, they just sort of have because there's still obviously there's options, right? It's expiring at the end of the week. So if you look at the Friday, it's 19% by the expiration at the end of the week. So there is expected to be volatility from now to the end of the week on SMCI. It's already down 8%. I did have one trade, which I probably should have hung on to. It was I was trying to mean revert it. And I followed the rule, right? Get in here. If it breaks the high, get out. It broke the high and went sideways for a few minutes and then sort of flushed. This is going to be, I think, as long as numbers come out, actually whether numbers come out or not, tomorrow is going to be a bit of an SMCI day trading. I'm expecting volatility, 10% one way or the other on SMCI. and we were kind of backing off it a little bit in the last few days, outside of the long, the great long Sean had yesterday. And it lost that entire move, pretty much. Like there's a top and right into this like VWAP dip. Lost the whole move, and we haven't even got any numbers on it. So I'm expecting you're going to get double digits on SMCI. For the afternoon trade, I think maybe if it starts squeezing, oh boy, like if it could break out through 40, that would be the spiciest look. Generally speaking, I would prefer if the stock went up than down. It's more exciting when it goes meme crazy. But my goodness, if they don't put any numbers on, it's going to be trouble.
Yeah, it's not going to be good for SMCI. I'm starting a short position in the TQs right now, just heading into what should be a good close here today. See if we can retrade. Okay, here it comes. So far, so good here. As we do make a little bit of a move down, just 10 cents in right here. I'm going to hope that we can get an 85. So we'll be putting a bid right now at VWAP to get out of about a quarter of it. And then we'll see if it does want to come back in. So yeah, SMCI. Look, I mean, we had written down 39. So on the sticky note, and it's coming in right now. So let's decide right now together if we do believe in that or not. There's the new banner, 500,000 subscribers. So we definitely want to say thank you to absolutely everybody. And again, we've sort of gone on a rant today. We wouldn't have been able to do this without you. So thank you everybody for that one, 500K. I'm probably not at 50K yet. Ooh, 49.8. Okay, we're getting closer to that one. So we wrote down SMCI 39. I thought we could get into that level, and I'll talk about why. It was the 200 period. I'll have to look at it again. Obviously, it's not ahead of earnings tonight. So it doesn't really matter that there's not an expected move. We know it's going to be pretty wild there for SMCI. We haven't heard from them in a while, so we're going to get that all figured out. There's the 39 drop. We weren't here. We came back, and someone in the chat was like, it went to 39 and then it ripped up. But the thing is, it did go to 38.50. So we probably wouldn't have got stopped out. We most likely would have held it because we're probably giving ourselves a 50-cent stop. But still, that's the new bottom. So I don't even really want to go long right here in this area. I'm more talking about the short in the market. You can see we have a 15-handle winner right now on the short. So this trend is pretty down. I thought maybe this could happen early. Then you get the bounce and it retraces all afternoon. And we get that, as Neil just mentioned, a little bit of an afternoon bump. Doesn't look like that. I think we could actually go the other way. As nervous hands right now wait on SMCI earnings. If you're going to look at the daily chart here, see, this is why you have to think about like where are we positioned here on SMCI? Because if you were somewhat skeptical on this company and you took a shot at the long, first of all, if you're caught up here, then doesn't really matter about this report. You're waiting probably to get out somewhere $68, $70. But if you took a shot on SMCI, I feel like these are good levels, 31, 32, things like that, where traders could be long. I don't know if anybody's actually long down in here, but maybe you're capturing some profits, and especially into the quarter. So that's it. You're above the 50-period moving average. I could see some traders lightening up on this name heading into the report. So for me, right now, even though we wrote down 39 long and it could look like the greatest long in history, it might have just bounced off there right now. But at the end of the day, I would wait for this name. Wait for it to come back closer to this bottom and then see if we can play off that. So for right now, SMCI in a waiting period. We're only like 2 hours away from that potential release, right? So I would rather just sit on my hands and let some of the big money come in, push it wherever they want. I don't know. You just talked about the options.
Is there an expected time?
So Adara does all of the notes for
I just
the
realized
recap
I have no
show.
clue. That's all.
Was there a time that you were able to find? I'll double check. Oh, 420.
Of course.
All right.
Of course it is.
Well, we won't be sparking anything live on the recap show, but you can definitely
You won't need to.
It's funny, it's like the funny thing is, it's like
You won't need to spark.
no, but we have this here, right? And everybody would be fine. Like if we started drinking this, it would be fine. But if I just lit up a joint right now, people would be like, "Oh my god!"
Well, I mean,
but here in Canada, it's legally.
Yeah, but we're indoors.
It's the same, I guess. But yeah, you don't want to smoke.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not doing that.
But there's no windows on the trading floor either.
Here it is, right here.
That's the other problem.
Why is there a note about Fartcoin? Oh, that was Michael Noss last night talked about that.
Yes.
He got buy signals on Saturday on Fartcoin.
Yes.
This guy's
Michael
looking at the
Noss
wrong
loves
things.
Fartcoin.
I gotta get Michael Noss on it. I know he looks at thousands of charts, but come on, man, just
Don't diss Fartcoin.
You ain't going long on what? Is he buying Fartcoin? I mean, come on, where can you even buy that?
As far as I know.
Well, I heard that coin stinks, but that was not a good.
Hang on a second.
That was. Yeah. That investment might go down the toilet, you know.
Oh, I don't. That's the only.
I just have this.
Yeah, there it is. I was on the wrong page for that one. There you go.
Who knows?
I don't know why in that one you're smiling. Why smiling? Because I'm smiling in that one too. Like there's nothing I'm excited to go down the toilet.
It's a fun ride.
It really wouldn't be. A fun ride today would be Shopify. That is a fantastic looking chart. Doesn't get more bullish than what it is.
People will super chat if we light up joins right now. Yeah, no, we don't have anything around here.
No, we don't.
Some might say.
Well,
all right. What's up? Okay, let's go back over here. And,
by the way, this looked.
Shopify. Speak about shopping.
I don't know.
You can go there and get what a
You
stick
probably
there
find
is. A good
something
one. What's up,
around
Dick?
here, though.
Dick Tracy. They should remake Dick Tracy. I'm just saying.
It's a great comic.
Yeah. Why not?
Like,
they're doing everything these days.
Actually, it's a fair point.
Thank you.
But they should redo it like.
If I see it, I'm gonna
what's the one?
timestamp this.
Shoot, what's the one?
Jessica Rabbit?
No, not Jessica Rabbit. I'm thinking the one with Jessica Alba. It's a similar comic style. A little more gritty. Sin City.
Oh, yes, Sin City.
With a more
yes,
Sin
yes,
City
yes,
feel
yes,
is
yes.
what they should do.
That big guy, Mickey Rourke or whatever.
Mickey Rourke. There you go.
Actually,
Do it in
that's a
Sin City.
great.
That's a really good movie. That's how
that
they
was
should
one
do
of like
Dick
the first
Tracy.
DVDs. I remember getting that. Yeah, that was a nice one. All right.
Let's talk about Shopify.
Yeah, let's do something.
They reported, and that bounce was nice, Sharif.
Sorry. Rob, I was just talking to Rob about Sin City. Great movie. Guys, Shop, 7 consecutive quarters in a row with 25% or more growth. That is quite bullish. You wouldn't have known it, though. Looking at it in the pre-market, we're really sold off aggressively, retraced, and then zigged and zagged at the open, guys. But now we're above 2%. Good look there. They printed $2.8 billion more, actually $2.81 billion in revenue, growing 31% year over year and hitting that gross merchandise volume record, guys, of 94.5 million. Good luck for Shopify. Go Canada.
Gross merchandise record.
That is a bullish.
Canada's setting records everywhere.
That's how they
you
do.
know. Record tariffs.
You got BlackBerry making power moves. You've got Shopify making power moves.
You've got the Four Nations Cup making power moves.
We got some strong banks. We got Enbridge.
We've got Uber at the low of the day.
We don't have much else.
We have nothing to do with Uber.
No.
But I mean, if you go outside, you can get a lot of.
You get lots of Ubers.
Real quick, Shopify reported. Okay. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
What I love about Shopify today, like I don't care, earnings, whatever. I get it. It was like the guidance on revenue was lower than expected, right? So they missed on the guidance on revenue. Every other metric beat, at least every other one that I saw, and the fact that it was down 9% this morning. Let me show you. It was down 9% at one point this morning, and it just got bought up and bought up and bought up and dipped and bought, and they just bought up. I traded it one time on a mean revert, and then it pulled back underneath the opening range resistance. But man, this has got to be. Like I shouldn't say this has got to be because like what if it tanks at the end of the day? But if it can break out the prior high, that all-time high, take out that 125 tomorrow. That just looks like an awesome breakout. I would have thought maybe you'd have a chance at that this afternoon, this 125 breakout. But that liquidity trap, get the weak hands out, and a stock gets already trending higher. That's super strong on the daily. I just love that setup. Probably could have held on to a long or maybe bought some kind of a dip in there. If it does pull into VWAP, maybe that'll be a long opportunity for this afternoon. But yeah, I love that setup where you rinse a lot of people, you rinse some weak hands out there, take off some pressure, and then you're able to break it back out. So note the relative strength on Shop. On a day it was down 9%, the market's flat or slightly down, it's going to be up 2 points and hunting for another 52-week high, I think tomorrow morning or at some point.
Yeah, I really like Shopify. I mean, it was on the sticky note today for a long, but unfortunately, the long just came in real quick there, and we weren't able to grab it. So I had written down earlier today that we were looking at this area of 110 to 112, but then it's almost like 8 o'clock hit, and then I don't know, like there was some sort of a crazy dark pool action. We just got going. We did come back in, so I think that VWAP would have been good. I don't like to trust any of those things in the pre-market though. And then it's 9 o'clock. It held VWAP again. And then if you took the VWAP long there at 940, which pretty lucky that I didn't, right? Like I normally I'm all about something like that, and we weren't there, so I was pretty lucky. But there's the hold at 9. There's the break at 9:30. Comes all the way down. The only thing you could have really done was, and someone in the chat, so shout out to you. You had yelled out that Shopify was at 115, and they said it was at my level of 115. I liked 112, but this 115 was basically the new pre-market bottom. So when you start to make new levels, I should have adjusted the note to reflect this area instead of this area. So a little bit of a lazy approach to Shopify today definitely wound up costing me 100%, because we would have been in this. We were looking long. You know, it's like, okay, well, we do have Apple on here, but I just want to use that as a quick example, same way. So it's like, here's Apple. We were looking long. So when it came back here, I was on it. And then this is still a top trade for me, despite me getting stopped out pretty much at that low before it ripped $5. But this was a big name because we stayed on it. And then it went up. Like, I'm embarrassed that we don't have any action up there. We tried to go short. We just got stopped out of that short actually before coming on. And now you can see it's drifting lower. But okay, so that's Shopify. I think the only way you would have won on that is to have been watching it. And if you had done that, you might have been able to sniff out that 15 level. That would be the only trade for me there today. I would be hands off on day one heading into the close. It's a day 2 play for sure tomorrow. Let's wait to see what Shopify does, especially if the NASDAQ can stay like this. If Shopify opens up anywhere near that 120, I like the stock. All right, let's go back over NVIDIA. Speak about rolling one, we have zigzags over there.
What? Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness.
I mean, what's a theme?
That was a good transition, Shannon. I like that. No, but it really was zigzagging, a little low in the pre-market, a little high after the bell, and now we're kind of in no man's land, down, a quarter of a percentage point. There's really no headline today on NVIDIA, but there was this headline from yesterday that Sam Altman and OpenAI looking at making their own custom silicon. Obviously, that reduces reliance on NVIDIA for their H100 and the upcoming guys, B200 Blackwell.
Right.
NVIDIA's
Blackwell, you say?
NVIDIA really rolled over through VWAP today. Thankfully, like the market did a bit of a dip. It was right around, I mean, whatever. I don't need to show you a Q's chart because NVIDIA did the same move. It was right here at about 1150. I had just taken a long, breaking this trend line, and then immediately stopped out, and then it rolled over. But we were doing this on, it was right during the lesson of the day, and I was like, this is a capitulation candle in the market, and NVIDIA as well. So went into that long. Ultimately, long twice, short twice, and 1 for 4, but up because the one long was actually really good. And NVIDIA is still holding VWAP. What I'd love to see it do, however, is this trend, like hold VWAP and break this trend now. So yeah, it's a little different. Obviously, it's the same kind of setup as here when it's doing some bullish things. If we can do that, I like the longs on NVIDIA for this afternoon. Got to hold on to VWAP. And then the next thing to keep in mind is, and it's hard not to say it with a smile, there's that 50-period moving average breakout, which is imminent for NVIDIA. So while Bitcoin bleeds and while Tesla bleeds, NVIDIA might not be the strongest thing out there, but it's holding on with the market. I know there's overhead resistance. That 135, that's the 50-period on the daily it needs to get through. But if we can hold VWAP, I think we have a chance to break out some longs here. It plays both ways. You know, if we lose VWAP, it's not going to be good for anything at all. But, you know, I'd say NVIDIA having a pretty good day. The way that it bounced on that market flush to get back to where it started is a great sign overall. You want to see how the market responds when you have those kind of liquidity dips.
Yeah, I'm really fine with NVIDIA as well. I mean, it being up or flat with the market pretty much, I think is enough. I mean, we've seen it now gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 days straight to the upside, and we could still close green today. So nice move, especially that last hour or so. We've had a great move off that 132. So I would say you get that garbage out of here. I mean, we're just net short the market. We've only gotten one fill on that. It's not really doing anything, so we haven't done much. But right there it is. This is the 1 minute chart. You're still at VWAP above the 200 period. So far, so good. But look at this. Can you take a look at that? I'm a little nervous. Like I'm short the market now, so I don't really want to go long NVIDIA. But this is a great area. We just said the 132. So any drips into 132 in the afternoon, I think it's a buy. I like NVIDIA. Join Adair and I on the 26th. It's a Wednesday. I'm covering for Neil that day. We're going to have NVIDIA earnings on the 26th. So that's 2 weeks tomorrow. and we should be able to get that name to come through. I'm excited for it. We're not going to talk about Intel, but let me just quickly, just to give everyone an idea here. So up 7%. This name got to almost where I should have maybe got out of Intel. We're long at like 1980. It was a nice move to the upside, but I don't know about 10%. Maybe we'll take a little bit more. Oh, I have an update. Another 5% has bit the dust. So Palantir, I got out at 114. I got out of a little bit more, another 5% there. I've taken nothing out of this trade. We took out some before earnings at like 89 or whatever it was, and then we took out some on earnings day around 103. But an official 5% we just took out there at one. It was at the same time. It was 130 when we bought Tesla and sold some Palantir. So that's kind of what we did. We did the whole in and out there a little bit on some Tesla, out of some Palantir into some Tesla. Again, buying like a depressed asset. And this is, we don't give financial advice to everybody else. I'm talking about what I did. So out of a name that clearly still is an AI play, still is keep me in the market. I don't know if it's going to be a smart move or not. You watch, Tesla's going to go down 50% and Palantir is going to go up another 50, and then we have a problem. But at the end of the day, I made that little switch. All right, we still have hopefully a lot of powder to put into the market here again. I just wonder if Tesla's come down a little bit more. We'll talk about that in a couple seconds.
We get to Tesla.
Yeah. Let's go to Apple here before Sharif. Sharif's got to go practice some of those push-ups because he's got. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes. Sharif's like he ain't going nowhere. We have a bottle right here.
You guys should have to do the push-ups while drinking.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Okay, so yeah, good job, Sharif. We will be popping this very, very shortly. Let's finish the rundown ASAP then. So, all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Apple.
Yes, sir. So this morning we got word that Apple and Alibaba are teaming up to launch Apple's Apple Intelligence, their version of AI out in China. That was a requirement from the Chinese government that they had to have a local partner, a Chinese company, with Apple Intelligence. Initially, they had teamed up with Baidu back in 2023 to launch that Apple Intelligence, but they were none too plussed about the slow nature of the development there with the Ernie chatbot and other AI ventures by Baidu. So they're going to go with Alibaba, guys. Quen wins out here. Apple up 2.5%, but well off the highs.
We were just short. I don't know. I was just short Apple. Now it's coming back down. Look, Apple's going to be my number one stock today. It was absolutely huge off the open. I just talked way too much about whatever that was. NVIDIA there, and Intel. So I'll let Neil talk. But we broke that level there. I like the long to start with. It started going. I was like, you know what? Let's just take a shot. We bought 229, 229.50. It ripped up. Then we watched it. We actually got out of a lot of this anyways up there as it was Alibaba and it was pre-market. So we take the long in the pre-market. Then it just comes right in off the open and then it just rips. So we were just buying again 50 period in VWAP. It took off. We tried it again there. It was going, but it looked like it was having a problem at 230, but 99 problems, 230 ain't one. We got fooled. We got taken out right there. Nice upside play. Despite all of this happening, this short was pretty flat. I think we might have made a little bit on that. But despite me losing on this one and not having any of that, it's still going to be my number one stock. I did believe in it early, and it went. Just wish it would have happened a bit better and sooner and quicker. Anyways, that was a good one. SMCI ripping, apparently. Okay, we'll
SMCI is making a move, but the market actually, I shouldn't say the market. Intel lost support. I'm going to get out of that. We reversed short to long. We're now out when it broke that support there. I almost said AMC. We'll get to Apple and Bob in a second. But SMCI is making a strong move up. I wanted to break this local high here and just look to see if it'll do a little bit of a squeeze. NVIDIA lost VWAP. I traded BABA instead of Apple, which is check out the blue ocean market. Although not right now, as that's what I've clearly typed in. What happens is if I do it too fast, I'll end up hitting enter, and the first thing on the drop down alphabetically is the blue ocean market because we have entitlements to everything here at Real Trading. But here's Alibaba. I did have a couple of longs on this. When the news came out, I just traded the 112, then I traded the higher low into this 115 high for Alibaba. So I do still think it's got a little bit of overhead resistance at the 115 level. You guys are awesome. Talking about Sean and Joe right now. It's still
Well,
got
no,
some
Brendan, I'm
overhead
like, what are we
resistance.
doing? Brendan's like, you guys just open it up. I'm like, what? Shake, like,
Open
celebrate.
it up with what?
Celebrate it, what? With our hands. But like, celebrate it as if I'm trying to, like, we won the World Series. I was like, spray it everywhere. Spray it all over you. Just
no
drop
cup.
it on, like, drop it on. No, I mean, we need to.
You need something to pour it into. No, just so Alibaba on the daily chart, one of the reasons why we're taking profit in front of 115 is just this is where the stimulus top has been on Alibaba. So all seriousness, there it is. Now it's loaded. So I've had 3 longs on Alibaba. They've all been affected. Well, okay, this one wasn't, but this one was off VWAP. It's all been about VWAP for Baba, but now it's a Chinese ADR in the middle of the day. It's not doing anything. I still can't. We're going to talk about Tesla, but I'm very, very surprised that the rundown did not include Firefly. It's only up 200%. Anyways,
I think you should talk about Firefly.
we'll talk at some point. We'll talk about
I mean, Bitcoin right now is having a problem with itself. It is just straight to the downside. The momentum is definitely down right there. Talk about a VWAP play. You're breaking through 96. I feel like this is not refreshing because it's not moving. Bitcoin must be down a lot more than this. Let me just refresh this right here. Because people, 95. Yeah, okay.
Not that bad.
Yes. Well, it's not the greatest. Right here. Here is a 1 second chart here, or sorry, a 1 hour chart. Bitcoin right back into some pressure. You've seen some support been down here, 94.7. So my bad. Yeah, definitely was not loaded properly there. The Bitcoin price down into 95 right now. So, all right. I'm glad we looked at that because I did see some pressure there. There it is right now. 95.183 for Bitcoin. We'll keep it down there so we can monitor it. 95.157, 175 on BTC. So there is some downside pressure there.
Check this out in the chat.
Right?
Los Pollos Hermanos
Yeah, get some chicken up in here.
would have been empty by now if the bottle was here at Sean and at Neil Roberts.
It was where? Where? With that guy?
Challenge. I mean, come on, son. No, it would not be. No, you're not. I mean, come on, son. You're not chugging that. It's you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised it's still here to begin with. I mean, we're gonna hit this. I mean, like I was saying, we're gonna get some cups.
We'll get
like,
some glasses or cups or something. We might end up having to drink out of mugs at this rate. But let's talk about Tesla is absolutely tanking. You're right. You're right about that, and it's continuing to head back into the lows as we speak. Shree.
Los Pollos Hermanos.
Almost 5.5% here, guys. Tesla continues to sell off. Nary a bit today with Tesla. This is the headline. Continuing to trade down after its competitor, BYD, out in China, reportedly announced plans to include self-driving technology in all their vehicles. That includes a vehicle, guys, priced under $10,000. It's not full self-drive in the sense that we understand it, but driver-assisted technology coming in at a very low price point. Tesla selling off as a result.
All right. Yeah, look, Tesla, it's going to be a problem. I mean, we were like, hey, we bought this thing at $330, but it's coming in. So I just, I've liked Tesla down here. We've talked about that into this area. I think it's worth nibbling a little bit. Generally speaking, you don't want to catch this falling sword, but I just wonder, is there a problem with the company, or is, as you had mentioned, we won't talk about names, but there's a friend of ours that's like, I'm never buying a Tesla because I don't like his political views. And that is fine. But I just wonder when and if that is enough. Like we've seen sort of go woke names before, like a Disney or things like that have been hit, Starbucks as well. They were all sort of temporary things. I'm not sure that is what's happening here. Obviously, BYD is eating into their profits a little, or into their market share in China. We've heard about that. And then we have the tariff issues. We have Mexico's an issue, obviously. And then getting these cars into the United States from China, potentially an issue as well. So then you have the distractions with Altman now. And I just feel like there's just a lot in this name. And sometimes when there's blood in the streets, it's not a horrible, I know. And
this is when you usually want to.
Brendan has brought.
I told you we could drink it out of mugs.
Yeah, so here we go. So we still have coffee cups,
We're
which
keeping
is
it
fine.
very real here.
Who's that dancing back there? Andre? Oh, that's Adara dancing.
Adara's dancing.
Okay, yeah. They're about to get lit.
Dancing before we even have
We're about to get lit. The market recap show gonna be on one. Okay, so anyways, I've been putting on the sticky note for a while. Like even today it's 350 short. Yesterday was 360 short. The day before that was 375 short. We can go and look at it. Euro sales has been down. It's like They had down sales in Germany. There was another, I think it was French as well. There out of France, those numbers were bad. It's not a great time for Tesla. We'll wait to hear what happens with the robo-taxi. It's supposed to be later on this year. And then if there is another Model 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, as the wind blows with Tesla, I still like the stock, just worried about the pressure that's been on it. I did buy a little bit here in the swing account, but I'm fine with a long-term position at this level too.
Exactly.
So anyways, that's what it is.
I stunk bid today. Well, I said this morning I would stink bid it, but it's nowhere near it yet. It's down at like 304. Actually, yeah, it was 304.69, or did I go 304.42? I don't remember. It was one of those two. But either way, right now it's in the penalty box. As a day trade, it's just short and it's accelerating. That's the thing. Like since it broke the support, it's been accelerating to the downside. So at some point, you want to have like a deceleration day where the down move is smaller than the one previously. Do that, and you can start forming a bit of a bid, do a reversion trade, whatever it might be. But Tesla for now looking pretty heavy. I really thought this last push was going to get back into this range, like at least a little bit closer to VWAP. It was trending really nicely. The next time it moves up, it does any kind of a trend up, just short when it reverts the trend on Tesla for the afternoon. Dick Tracy in the chat says, stink bid on Fartcoin. But as Sean was saying, where do you even pick up Fartcoin? It's a legitimate question. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I just lost level 2. I mentioned, look, we're going to talk about AIFF, which is Firefly.
Yeah.
Like you said, I was a little bit surprised that that didn't make the rundown. Whether you're going to trade or not, I understand a lot of people, this is probably not your cup of tea to trade, and you don't know this morning that it was going to do what it did, but they got the NVIDIA Connect. Literally, that's the name of the NVIDIA Connect. Not like Connect as in you know what. But it has been holding trend all day, up 188%. If it loses this trend, I think it sees VWAP. Just sort of connecting the dots. From the pre-market, it hasn't come anywhere near that trend since 1040. And I think if it loses that, you're seeing a push down into VWAP, where if it doesn't halt on a push down to VWAP, I'd look for like a quick little VWAP bounce. Like kind of one of those, like little flush. If it halts, whatever, there's nothing to do. But if it does that without managing to halt, resist the halt band, it's about $7 in here. That was a prior support. I saw the buying when I had the one short. I had a short on this at like 770 and saw what happened when it bought off 7. And I got out. Like I actually had my stop here. And when I saw this bounce off 7, I was like, no, let's just punch out right now. Because it looked like it was going. Obviously, I should have reversed. But I'm going to have AIFF on the radar for sure. Tesla is, like NVIDIA is going back up through VWAP and Tesla's heading back down into the lows. It's going to be that kind of afternoon. Tesla doesn't care what's happening overall. It just wants to head lower. So next available pop, gotta take a shot. SMCI still really not doing much. It's trying to get up to maybe break out from the morning support levels and current resistance. But sideways for now. Volumes aren't crazy. Like if it's not Tesla or AIFF, there's not a heck of a lot popping off. I've got my scanner up there and the trade rate's telling me Tesla. It's actually saying NVIDIA, but based on what NVIDIA is doing, I'm not really believing it. Palantir, okay, I haven't looked at Palantir. SMCI, that makes a heck of a lot of sense. Yeah, what's Palantir doing? Double check that.
It was 113.50.
Wow, it is barcode. Look at it, barcode at 113.
Yeah.
I've had 2 longs on Palantir, one off VWAP, that was okay, and then another one down here on a mean revert that was actually pretty much flat. Like that was actually a nothing burger. Palantir, yeah, down 3%, but look at this action. You want it to do something. Like just sort of sitting in it either direction when it's doing that, there's really no point. Come on, SMCI, let's do something.
Do it. Okay, so I put the order in to go short on a 329 break. That's the low of the day for Tesla. I'm going to take it. And honestly, I was thinking about just holding it back to the 50 period. So wherever that is at the time. So I'm trying to share size that accordingly. Like if we absolutely tank right now, like it depends on how we get 329. Like if it's just in a panic move down, either from, like we said, a tweet or something happens with anything in sort of macro, I guess, then we can we can assess that. But if it just kind of drips down and we get near there, I think this is a great trade to break that bottom, as many traders like myself, or like I said, I just bought it just recently, today, right at this level. If it continues to do this, I just wonder how many people will give it up, because there is appearing to be like a magnet towards, I mean, the 200 period is right here at 280. Like this 300 at this point is another 10% down. We could get to that area. So let's wait to see right now what winds up happening. We did average into our TQ position.
What is this?
I don't know. Against the market here, I was going to try to just do this with the NASDAQ, but looks like the NASDAQ right now is trying to get a little bit upside. So 85.60, that break, okay, here it goes. We'll get out. It was not a very big position. We're only able to get out at something there, but we're going to try it right now.
What's SOPA doing?
But the market just, I don't know. I'm okay with this position. We're going to short the TQs. Well, we are short the TQs, and we're going to watch out for Tesla. I have it up on my other screen right here, so hopefully that comes through.
Yeah, like when the market goes up and Tesla, it doesn't even catch like a mini bid, that tells you all you need to know. So SOPA, what's up with that?
What's SOPA with that?
I didn't, yeah, that doesn't really work. Society Pass Incorporated. Society Pass Incorporated. No idea what they do. Obviously, it's going parabolic as we speak. This is a daily chart, which is insane on this, but it just did one of those topping tail candles at $5 or at a fresh high. So prior high sitting at 460. Maybe it can catch a bit off that. Sometimes you wonder, like, if this starts going, does Firefly lose any steam because there's so much action now going over to this name? All right, SMCI is almost at 40. It's getting closer to that local breakout. I'm going to throw this one up on the side chart just to see if it's going to actually do something here. But it just pulled back that SOPA off the top. Let's see what happens. NVIDIA looking strong again. Yeah, you know what? NVIDIA is making that mean revert. It just closed. It's the annoying thing about this strategy is it closes the candle above on like a 40-cent candle. So like if you punch the top of that, you get like a horrible entry on the mean revert. So I'm kind of sitting here now hoping it comes back in to the downside. But that's how it works sometimes. Like you get the mean revert. So I want to be on the other side. I want to be on the other side of VWAP.
50.
The bid, Neil. So let's see if we can't pick something up. I like the mean revert here on that you just saw there on NVIDIA. So we'll see if we can catch a bit of a pullback into this trend break on what has been, I know it's only flat, but it's still, I'd say it's a relatively strong move here. A couple of higher lows.
Yeah,
Trend reversion here for NVIDIA. SMCI is trying, but it's not doing anything. AIFF is trying, but it's not really doing anything. Tesla is still ridiculously weak. We'll see if we can buy the dip, give it to the prior low on NVIDIA. Smart Film Masters, 3 p.m. bloodbath. Well, Tesla
that'd be nice.
will probably lead that bloodbath. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, well, we're hoping the market does. We got a nice position here on the TQs. Let's see if it wants to work out for us, though, as we're just short right here, right now at 49s. So here we go. Let's see if we get a decent push down. The 50 period moving average right now on this space is right here, 22s. That move down into 30s would be nice. Here we go. For basically, we can always take more, but this is a pretty full position for me for right now. Just what we've been experiencing so far on the day. Let's wait. So this is the trade that we have. Again, remember where our stop sort of was going to be, breaking through that 60 level. So we did get pretty close there. Oops, that's not it. Zoom back out. Was right here into these levels. So that's 68. I'm not even going up that high to 75. I was basically going to get out if this broke 60, 65. So that was pretty much that top wick. That's exactly where our stop is right now. So hopefully we're able to not suffer anything. Hopefully the market will bring this thing down. We just got another fill at 41s. Lightening up a little bit, but still a good little win for us so far on the TQs. Again, for 20 cents worth of risk, I think, or a little bit less, I think it's worth it right now for this trade. It's actually 15 cents worth of risk. So let's give it a shot here and see if TQs can pull back just a little bit, and then we'll pop this bottle soon. 85.25. I hate to pop it on a losing trade, but we'll see. All right, 85.25, 85.30s. Into this area is where we're bidding now. We're actually bidding 28s. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to up it just a little bit into 35 right here where we started this trade. But anyways, that's what we're talking about right now with the TQs. Not sure about it. Future seems strong. I don't like how we just bounced. You just did your little work there on NVIDIA, but I don't really like how we just kind of bounced basically off of VWAP, and I know it was kind of barcoding there, but
all-time high.
We could easily. Oh, Meta's making all-time highs.
Another one.
This NASDAQ is too strong.
16 days in a row.
Damn it.
17 days.
We could always drop this trade right now. Go ahead. Yeah, 17.
Is it 17 or 16?
I thought we were red yesterday, though.
Man, I'm starting to lose track. You know what? We were at one point yesterday, we were red in the afternoon on Meta.
When it covered?
I mean, the stock was red. I don't think anybody's red on a long-term Meta position.
I'd hope. Unless you bought today.
You basically can't be because.
Right. You had to buy the high today.
Yeah, on a closing basis, this would be, like if we closed here, this would be an all-time high. So let me correct that statement. Meta, technically speaking, isn't at an all-time high because it's been higher than this. It was like 725 or something. But if we closed here, it would be another all-time high close for Meta, 16 or 17 days in a row. I think this is where a lot of the strength is coming from because I looked over at Google, Alphabet, that's underneath. Ooh, that looks like a short on Alphabet. Look at that. Morning support, once, twice, VWAP, 185.25. You just had a strong up move. Yeah, this looks like a revert into VWAP on Alphabet. I like Alphabet. There's nothing against them, but underneath the 50-period moving average on the daily, it's been a little bit trend down. Since it broke the bottom, prior support held as resistance, stair step to the downside, another stair step here underneath VWAP. And yeah. If it breaks VWAP, I think that's an out. But yeah, Google hasn't been good. Like I look at this, it's like, why didn't we look at Google this morning? Like sometimes when you like a mean revert trade, like look at the resistance yesterday in the afternoon on Alphabet, and look at where it turned on the upside here today. Like very clean. But we were trying to get the short on Tesla this morning and failed. So yeah, same thing there on Google. But I'm going to get into it now. If it breaks VWAP, I'll get out. NVIDIA did not dip. SMCI is still basically where it was a few minutes ago. AAIF is still doing exactly. I'll just say Firefly from now on. It just seems weird to say AIFF. Firefly is still exactly where it was before and holding trend. Remember the plan of action. If it breaks trend and doesn't halt into VWAP, then I kind of want to look for a long off VWAP here on Firefly.
Right.
I do have shorts on this.
You paid for them, yeah.
I paid for shorts, and part of me is like, well, you could also just punch short if it breaks the trend. But then you got to be short Firefly, which got away with one today.
It's danger.
You have to ask yourself if you want to get away with another one. Right now, I'm kind of leaning toward no.
Get on the flow. All right. Yeah, and they can't do those guys for Super Bowl, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are North Carolina and whatnot, but I mean, what we're looking for would be Lil Wayne and whatnot. But everyone wanted Kendrick, so they got Kendrick.
Did they?
Apparently, I don't know. I mean,
everyone wanted Kendrick. Okay.
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, Apple.
I have nothing.
Who was booking that? I thought it was Jay-Z that was doing all the booking. That's someone told me that he was responsible for that. So send your love mail to him for that one. Okay, so the TQs did go down there. We did talk about that. We did get a 41 fill, but not much else happening on that name. Tesla's still holding out. Uber does break 77. 77 was a level for us that we had looked at for Uber. And we just stayed away with this market coming back in. We were long, got out of Uber. Uber is going to be my P&L number 2. Apple, P&L 1, Uber, P&L 2. That's basically all that we traded off the open. And then we were involved with Palantir, as we had sort of just mentioned that. And then Palantir breaking back below that 116 level. And that was it for us on Palantir. So for me, choppy day overall on Palantir. We had some longs there that worked, and then we dropped it. Then we had another long that worked, and then it dropped out again. So just kind of like a back and forth little move there for us on Palantir. Not much excitement for me today on that name, other than many trades. Eventually got rid of it. We initially took the we were looking at the 117 break. That didn't happen. Instead, we bought it a little bit earlier there, and the rest is history as Palantir now trying to find some ways. We did get out of some of our Palantir right around here at the 114 area, right around 130, and then we went over there and bought some Tesla. Okay, so right now it might not be a good move. All right, right now Tesla is making that move right now into 329. So again, I'm here for it and completely fine with everything that Tesla wants to do. I'm going to be shorting that 329 break and trying to give it, I said back to the 50 period. So if we did that, I mean, it's going to be a position that I'm going to try to hold basically all afternoon. So if that comes in, great. But 329.50 just held again. So we'll wait to see if 329 breaks. We'll adjust where our stop is, but maybe even 331, 331.50. All in all, it's all in a day's work here for Tesla with this big move today. So we've seen this many times before. We had that $4, $5, $6 winner short yesterday heading into the close. So seeing about it possible to do that one more time. Q's kind of
I'd say it's possible.
Losing interest for me. I'm gonna put another bid down here at that 41 level again and see if we can grab it. Hopefully we do have a move down, but the future is not doing much. Hanging out upside, probably meta and all that talk there as we go.
Yeah,
all right, we better start to open this.
I also think SOPA has taken the, SOPA has taken some of the juice away from AIFF. So I'm thinking AIFF might make that breakdown a little bit sooner than later, as SOPA just made another high of the day. This is continuing to rally. I guess if it does, maybe if this one does another dip, it's held on to the prior high. That's good. The volume's still checking out pretty well. Liquidity is not the best when you look at the level 2, but then as if it's really good on AIFF either, or Firefly. So SOPA still looking pretty strong. Just still think that AIFF is just seconds away. Like, it's teetering. It's like it wants to make this breakdown. Like, you just know, like, you look away, or if I take away that level 2, it's going to do the drop. And then you look away for 2 seconds. But it's starting to feel like it's rolling over. I'm not shorting it. I'm just looking for a little bit of a break of trend. NVIDIA, I can probably, I'm not canceling the VWAP bid yet, but it's very slowly creeping higher and not giving any entries here in NVIDIA. And we'd like to be able to pick it up before it gets a little bit too late in the session. Let us know what else you guys are talking about here. Brenworks mentioning Mullen.
Look at Tesla popping.
That's doing anything. Tesla's going higher.
Yep. All right. Tesla just popped huge off that 329 level.
It just keeps, that's like...
that's too bad. Like, I really do like that level, man. I really do like it. It's been supporting it. That would have been a good long. I am a little bit influenced because I am short the TQs, but this is going to be a trade that pops out very, very soon. I think it's very risky to short this market. Obviously, I agree with that statement. I just saw that there in the chat. I'm just trying to play off of right here to think, we need a catalyst. That's for sure. I mean, we're not just going to be long just for short just for the sake of being short here. I mean, I like this level. Just looking at it, the Nasdaq's been back to flat. We've sort of traveled around a little bit today. Off earnings tonight, and again, we've sort of talked about this. I just tweeted it out as well. Earnings tonight, Upstart. Upstart's last move was 46%. I don't think any of these names, there's no major Nasdaq names or anything. Upstart's having quite a nice day right now, actually. Still down, but looking like a nice move here into the close, maybe trying to get back up to greens. But it's Gilead, it's Upstart, it's LYFT, it's DoorDash. Not major Nasdaq names, although was DoorDash just including the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq or something? DoorDash, and then Zillow, and then the big one here that we're waiting for is SMCI. But how big really is SMCI? I mean, the market cap right now is not huge. I don't know how much this really affects an NVIDIA or the whole chip space to begin with anyways. People have moved some of their business over to Dell and whatnot for the racks and all that. So we'll have to wait to see what's happening with Supermicro. But at some point, this is not going to be that affected. Like, it's already down 6% today, and the NASDAQ is flirting with green. So I'm not sure the NASDAQ really cares too much about SMCI.
You want something that's down
at current levels. Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Rigetti's down 8% today. Like, just yesterday, we were talking about this thing at 13. Oh, that looked like such a great level. Well, you can't break it out if you don't get there. This is right back at the 50 period on the daily on Rigetti. Shout out to the chat for mentioning this one as well. The last time it saw the 50 period moving average, it proceeded to more than double up. I don't know if it's got that much in it, but here comes, this could be a little something for a trend reversal. It's so close to that 50 period. It's about 60 cents away. It would also be close to 10% down. Oh, thank you for the super chat here. Alien Labs. Let's talk about a different sector. Check out JP Morgan. How much higher is JP Morgan today?
It's very high. It's almost at all-time highs.
I'm going to make the assumption it's very close to the highs today. 15 minute. Why is this not loading my 15-minute? Like, it's so good that it's taking forever to load. Yeah, so it's not quite at all-time highs. I'll take it. I mean, look, XLF was one of my picks. What's weird is I didn't really pick home run picks when we did our picks. I was like, some things that I felt like high probability on. I just felt like it was really easy to go. I think the longs work this year for a lot of reasons on the financials, whether it's lower regulation, more deal making, more volatility in the market for the trading. Maybe that's not JPM, that's more Morgan and Goldman, but I like them anyways. And JP Morgan, best of breed. Morgan probably looks fantastic. One name that is actually moving right now, it doesn't look like it's doing anything here on the daily chart. Thumbs up with SoFi the last couple minutes. So it was doing absolutely nothing, caught a bid here at 1480 and is right at VWAP. So I'm going to look to see if this can do some kind of a weird continuation play on SoFi. Just want to see something moving, and this is actually starting to go, and I kind of like it. Still nothing on AIF, Alphabet. Okay, one of my charts doesn't have VWAP properly, but this one does. It's breaking out above VWAP, so it's got about 5 more pennies, which probably tell you exactly where my stop is without telling you on Alphabet, and then we'll be getting out of that one. So try it off of VWAP. I liked where the resistance was, but it's pressing on through. If it takes out that $0.50, I'm more or less going to be out of this trade. AIF is still not doing anything. SoFi starting to look interesting. Still absolutely nothing with SMCI, which I thought was going to give us a breakout and some kind of a real trade in the afternoon going into earnings tonight, but it's still not doing anything, SMCI. SOPA still making power moves. But this AIFF, I'm still looking for that breakdown. I still feel like it's inevitable.
Here comes Tesla. Tesla's going to go
down. Yeah, Tesla to the low of the day. Yeah, I can still see this AIFF going downside. Maybe it just needs some kind of a trigger, like the market turning or something.
All right, so shout out to talking about other sectors for sure. I mean, we're just looking at, you know, where the interest is and what we've been doing. We gotta open this and start to pop this thing in a couple minutes here. I mean, why don't we do it in and around 3 o'clock? So we just have 3 more minutes to go, and then we will pop this. So get your drinks ready if you want to celebrate with us. I'll just make the call there, and we'll do that very, very soon. It's tough for me to figure this all out as I'm sitting here trading, but we will get that done. Eli Lilly there, talking about another sector. This was a nice move to the upside here. Broke out. We had earnings last week. It's a nice move to the upside right there. Trying to bounce off this 880, it looks like right now, and thinking about an upside move potentially here for Eli Lilly. So I would say it's looking good, holding that 840. I like the look of this name here. If we can get back into 840 and change, that's a good one. For as far as trading for today, I mean, a drip down into VWAP would be good at 867, but I don't know if that's going to be there. Let's look at Novo Nordisk. For me, I was looking at XBI and trying to buy some of those IBB, the biotech industry there, as an ETF. Novo Nordisk lost its way there, trying to battle back. So Eli Lilly and Novo actually moving in opposite areas. I do want to find out XBI for the long term. Again, this is a long-term play for me. Down below 90 now. I haven't even realized that. This has a bad couple days, so maybe we need to put our money to work here also in XBI right now, below the 200, and IBB. We've had Moderna. I mean, there's been a lot. See what happens when you put in the chat you want to talk about different sectors. I mean, now we're just
Walmart.
Now we're gone. Now, yeah, like now I'm like on another wave here. Look at Moderna. I mean, again with RFK. Not that we're against vaccines or anything, or that the human health and safety. Is that what it is? Human health and safety, I think it is, right. You know, they're going to be looking at all of that again, but at the end of the day, Moderna's got to come up with something, as this name's getting absolutely kicked like every single day to that downside. I thought I liked their cancer sort of portfolio there, but maybe there's not much happening on that side. I don't know the true story with Moderna, but IBB and XBI, I feel like are worth picking up at.
Ultimately, you got to turn technology and ideas into the sales.
To something, yeah.
And money. And it's the harsh reality. Like, I'll tell you right now, every single time there's one of those like biopharma headlines, I'm cheering for I don't care, penny stock, whatever. Like, most of the time you're going to eventually save lives.
Yeah, you want a good discovery.
Yeah, like from personal experience. Like, trust me, like I've had family members with like rare stuff that you've literally never even heard of, like 1 in 2.5 million, and there'll be just some random discovery, and it's always like an American or European company. And next thing you know, it's a drug that takes some disease you've never heard of, that has a 10-year, people live 10 years when they get it, and next thing you know, you're taking one shot and living a normal life. And, you know, whether it's Alzheimer's, you know, whether it's, in this particular case, cancer for Moderna, they just need to figure it out. It's a really, really, really bad stock. And I say that, you know, I've actually had a swing trade in Moderna actually a while back. I don't remember, it was like probably a couple of years ago, or at least a year and a half ago, as I'm trying to get this chart to load up.
The shit's getting real.
It gets so bad that it doesn't even want to load the chart. But it made this one bounce back through 100 a while back. And now it's distinctly different. All right, it's now happening. So let's just, you know what's happening.
Okay, here we go. All right. So obviously today we hit, got the glasses on? Okay, I like it. I like that. Today we hit 5.
Safety first, right? No.
Yeah, hopefully I can, maybe, hold on. How do I lock my keyboard right here? Let's go bang, 5,000 shares. Okay, so let's, all right, so today we hit a major milestone, so we want to thank everybody. 500,000 subscriptions and subscribers right now, so thank you so much. A huge move, more now, over 501. We have just hit today over 500,000 subscribers. So what we have right here is a celebration. And most importantly, we want to thank everybody out there for making this happen. We got to give a big shout out to Adara, to Brendan, Sharif, Joe, everybody, my guy Neil over here, everyone running the 1s and 2s. Yeah. And not just everybody that's here today, right?
Randy, Rob, Mark, our entire IT team, our producer. We talk about Obi as well.
No, I want to thank everybody from the original. Like, we want to thank Valeria, we want to thank Proud, we want to thank everybody, Ian, everybody that's been here, Max, Luca. Yeah, I mean, there's been so many different names that have come through. Yeah, I mean, we're probably gonna miss some people as well. Patty Ice has been on. Lots of different people. So we want to give a big shout out to everybody and thank you so much for making this a reality. So here we go. Okay, we have not shook it up. This is not the World Series, but Neil does have. See, I know that's why. It's because like a baseball thing.
Safety first.
All right, here we go. I should have brought in the snowboarding goggles. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and oppa! Hey! We caught it. I did not want that to go fly. So, hey, thank you, everybody. All right, Neil, you get the first sip right here. Put up your, okay. Oh, I'm lining these up.
Right, line them up. This is
all right, watch out
now. Just go one to the other. Randy's gonna get mad if we spill on the desk. Though.
I know. Oops. Sorry, Randy. Already.
No sips till we cheers.
All right, there we go.
No sips.
All right. I'm nervous about my positions. Okay, they're still okay. Here we go. All right, why don't we come around? So let's, here we go. Sharif.
Yeah, pass them down.
We're coming.
Here.
Thank you very much.
Pass this one down.
Keep it going. Here go Joe as well. We got one for Ramin, and we got one for Adara over at the desk.
I'm going to hand Fabian.
Thank you to everybody.
Yeah, we're going to get some for Fabian and Ramin. Ooh, Google just stopped.
Super chats. Yeah, I probably stopped.
Thank you for the super chats there. Willis Addison, we just had there in the chat, super chats. Appreciate you guys so much. We need an extra? Andre needs to get one. Who's missing? We're missing somebody.
I'll just keep the rest of this bottle here. Don't worry, it was empty.
I'm not double fisting. Oh, Adara doesn't have one.
May not be.
Adara. Yeah, let's get Adara. See, I knew we were missing somebody.
Why don't you guys, I was saying, why don't you guys all go to the desk and then you cheers there and we'll cheers from our seat.
Bam, bang.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
And there we go. Jonathan just sent us money for pineapple pizza. So
no,
there you go. He did.
You know what?
Tomorrow's pineapple pizza.
For 500,000 subscribers, I'll eat a slice of pineapple pizza, even though it's disgusting and it's not pizza. Anything for the people, anything for you guys. And
big sacrifice for the people, but we'll do it.
It legitimately is disgusting, though. You know it's not real.
Okay, we're not stopped out yet. Okay.
I always say this.
All right.
Let's do this.
So everybody, who's over there? Where's Brendan at?
Everybody's getting to the desk right now.
Everybody's there besides Brendan. There we go. There we go. Get in there, Andre.
Andre's
Look at that handsome guy over there. All right. Do we know where? I mean, we don't have Ramin in this picture.
We don't have Brendan in this picture. Where is Brendan?
All right, forget about it. All right, cheers.
All right, cheers.
All right, congratulations to everybody, and thank you to the whole team over there, and thank you to Bears vs. Bulls.
Thank you, Bears, and thank you to the viewers.
We got to ship him some booze, so there you go. Cheers to everybody. It's nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sharif, everybody out there.
Once it hits your lips.
It works.
It's delicious.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Thank you there.
Just perfect.
Yeah, and again, thank you everybody. And again, we're putting everything to work there. You got that champagne. Thank you so much for that. And to everybody else, there is some more here if anybody is interested before Neil gets it all.
I'm not getting it all.
All right, you want to talk about Google? You guys stopped out at Google.
Tesla, no, it didn't break.
Oh, it did not?
No, somebody said in the chat Tesla broke, and it's
So just quickly there, I'll throw it over to Neil in a second to talk about Google because I think that's the only thing that happened. We are right now just in the queues still. I just put a bid right here at 47 to try to take something out, but I'm really bidding downside right now into the 40s. See if we can get this. I mean, now the 50 period is here at 40, so if we can get that, that'd be great. It looks like it's going to be a hard time here for the futures, but Tesla is getting lower there.
Tesla is getting lower. I got out of this chart's not going to have it properly, unfortunately. Missing a little bit of data on the black chart. Usually the reliable ones. But broke out that top. We're out of alphabet. You're still hunting for the breakdown, or at least I am here on AIFF. So it broke trend. I mean, if I was shorting the stock, I'd be short here with a stop at $9. Usually that's the play. But I've been thinking pull back into VWAP. I saw the support at $7 earlier today. I'm just looking for this to do one of those liquidity grabs into $7 and get the easy bounce. SOPA is the other one that I'm watching, SOPA. That's still on trend to the upside. Is higher highs, higher lows, all that good stuff. But its liquidity is not very good. I'm just not a huge fan of the liquidity there. And then this came in late. Historical in the chat. Just mentioned Rigetti double bottom. So Rigetti's very close to the 50 period on the daily at $10.70. It's got a very long trend down. The latest one, pretty clean. I'd look for a little bit of a reversion. As long as it holds on to that 50 period on the daily, if it goes 10% down, I'd probably look for an SSR bounce as well. Running out of time for that. And yeah, AIFF just, I don't know, it's going to do it.
Is it flushing finally?
Well, almost. It's definitely weaker. It's just not giving you that capitulation candle. Like, it's holding the bid so well. And I'm surprised because when a stock is up this much, usually you'll see some kind of an afternoon liquidity grab, or it would just dump and be done for the day. You never know when it could happen.
Come on.
I have it up, locked and loaded, ready to go if it does. But for now, watching this AIFF, looking for Firefly to make the next move.
Fabian, there is more champagne over here for anybody.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
You need to get work done. Okay, well, that makes
work.
one of us. Okay, so just right here quickly, we will. Okay, oops. Bye-bye. All right, forget about it. We will get that pineapple pizza tomorrow. I'll go get it just for fun during the midday, and then we'll have it on here. Oh yeah. Ramin says she wants at least half the pizza. So, all right, Ramin, all right, we got it. Big time demands over there.
Each their own.
Okay, no, she just said she wants one piece, but I added the whole half the pizza there. But she can have as much as she wants. All right, you can have whatever you like because right now, Tesla is making that move down. So we said we would do this, everybody. Strap up. Because we're short, baby, and we are into this right now with Tesla. So here we go, man. We're short at 328.85. We'll see if we get that downside push. We said we would try to use the 50-period moving average. So let's go. 331 break. We will be out of all of this. Looks like it'll be, I guess, we're sort of short here. It'll be a $2 hit if it goes maximum to the upside. I'm not sure about averaging into this too much. Maybe if we get a 330.30, that would be something that we would look at. So I'm going to put that offer there for a little bit of shares. We'll take a piece out if it gets near 328, but for right now, it is a short. We're liking the stock here, breaking lower. Tesla. Look, it's not like a huge trade taking out the low of the day. We had sort of talked about breakouts not really being the greatest trade yet for the long side. We haven't had break too many shorts, but we'll just wait to see what happens now on this trade. So that's what I'm doing. We're going to wait to see what happens with Tesla. I do have a bid to get out of 5% down. I just put it there at 328. So if we get 328 quarters, we'll get out of 5%. Put like 60 cents in our pocket. You know, we're trying to hold this for $2, so hopefully this can get to the downside. We saw it absolutely collapse yesterday into the close, and we had a monster trade yesterday into the close. So if you're watching that, hopefully we could do that again today. We were short this whole move that's into the close yesterday. So this move started 360, and we covered at 348. So nice move down. Let's see if we can do the same thing. I don't think we're going to have a $12 move. It's 3 o'clock right now. We are also still pretty short the futures here, but getting okay. There it is, sir. Traders unite. Here we go. Short the futures right now and short here on Tesla. So we gave you this trade. If you're not hitting the like and the subscribe now, then maybe you will, because that was a good one. We brought that to you live. We're doing it live, you know? And like, there it is right there, Neil. Bang, let's go, man. There's a nice dollar club on Tesla as there goes that low of the day break. Sure, we'll put a dollar spin there if we can get it to the downside. Just broke 328 and came right back up. So, hey, man, we are who we think we are right now. Nice downside move there for Tesla. Thanks for subscribing and keep the fun coming as we get these futures. If we could get a 41 fill right now, that would be nice. Boom, Neil, everything turning up this guy right now. I know you're not into anything. What are you looking at?
SOPA just held trend for the first time
There's
this
Tesla.
afternoon. We're going to try to take this one to the long side. It's a dip buy situation here on SOPA. Here's the trend. It was just happening now. I paid for locates on SOPA on the off chance that it actually broke this to the downside. I was going to short it
with me.
But if 550 goes, I'm out and looking for a reverse. Just one note here at Real Trading, we actually have to fire 2 separate orders. If I want to reverse short on this, I have to fire 2 orders, one out and then one to get into the short position. But I'm looking for this one to break out the high of the day. SOPA, what did I call them again? SOPA is
some sort of society.
Society Pass Incorporated, heading to the upside. And he gets them out in front of the highs and then let it fly. This is obviously blue sky setup. There are no highs here on the daily chart, as you can see with this stock.
All right, guys, shout it out, man. Adara's a real one. Adara is short with me right now on Tesla. So shout out to Adara back there, short with your boy right now. Good level there. Nice trade, Adara. As we start to break lower right now, Tesla dollar club. So now we can officially spin that right there. There goes down to the dollar club right now. We are out of 20% of this trade. So let's go, man. Here we go on that name. And here we go again. Hopefully we can get some more out on Tesla. I'm having my best day of the month right now, so let's just keep this going. 0 red stocks today. So that one right there is a check mark for us. We'll wait to see what winds up happening, though. As this day goes, there goes Tesla. Nice trade, Adara. We are now Adara. Multiple dollars. We just cover some more there at 327.50. Now it's $1.50. So remember where our stop was going to be, was always going to be the 50-period moving average. So right now, that's at 330 and change. Oh my, here we go. Props it up for Adara as the money's coming in as well. Good trade, Miss A. What you got for us?
Thank you there. Congrats, Sean. It's funny, we were talking about pizza, right, with regards to this pizza, and then we get a move with volume I see on my scanner on Papa John's, PZZA, moving to the upside at day's highs. I have no news on this. They don't report earnings until February 27th, but pretty funny here. We talk about pizza, and then Papa John's pushes to the upside again. We are up pretty significantly here on the day. Saw that volume pop into day's highs, almost 13% short float for PZZA. Pretty funny timing there, guys. Back to you.
Sometimes we move the markets. It is really funny timing. And we are going to have that pineapple pizza, 100%. New fresh high of the day for Society something, SOPA. But look out, it's already starting to come back in here a little bit. It just broke the high. The bids aren't necessarily, they're not following much above the 630 level. There's like one, now they start to. There was one guy at like 39s, and then now there's a 40, there's a 35 as well. I'd like to see them stack it up to get through the 650. It's trend in, trend out. I don't need my bid in there anymore.
What are we even
trend
doing?
Goes higher. We're already in this one about 50 pennies to the upside. It's a $6 stock. The thing is, the stock is up 150%, and it is 315. You got to factor that into the end of the day. So if it loses a high break, then I want to get out of this trade. So we're going to make sure we lock in the profit at that high. But nice little breaker. I don't like breakouts this time of day. I'd always prefer to dip by a stock as an entry point. So far, we're going to hold on to this. As long as it can hold the prior high, we'll let it fly. Gets to $7. That's a reasonable place to take it out. Oh, Intel broke 21 in VWAP as well. So we're going to be short Intel. Exactly 21 is VWAP on Intel. But SOPA making its move. I still like that AIFF. It just doesn't seem to want to make that breakdown for me. But SOPA's going nicely.
Oh, man, nice trade there on SOPA. But oh boy, did we just sort of top up everything today. Look, Apple, Apple's still number one P&L name, although we'll see if we can get the Qs going there. This is just what I've traded today. There's Apple, there's Palantir's flat. I mean, It's fine. I mean, you could be up on that stock if you, depending on how you traded that. The Qs, whatever. We're going to wait to see what winds up happening right now. Hopefully we can get that dip down. We just got some bids in the 30s, so we're fine with that. That was pretty good. We're short now at 55. Tesla, the only trade we've made today is right now. We are only out of a third of it, but we are watching out for that. Could still not be great trade, actually. I'm going to get out of one more piece here at 70. There we go, I'm bidding stick. Okay, so we just bid 70 there. So remember, Neil and I get paid to trade, meaning that if I add liquidity right there, I'm actually making money doing that. So it's not like I'm paying $5 a trade here every time or anything like that. Hopefully less, but that's just something that we have to deal with. So just remember that it's a little bit of a different platform. So okay, out of it a little bit more there as that, and then the TQs is what it is, and then Uber is actually, despite Uber going down, Neil, this is still going to be P&L number 2. Where we buy, out right there, good out at 78.50 off of a 78.790 bottom there. So that was a great trade. Then we're able to buy that same bottom again and then get out for flat when we broke lower. So a big trade alert there for Uber today. So Uber yesterday was a big stock for us, and again here today, another big stock. P&L 2 for the show today, period. Tesla trying to get there though as we speak. So we'll see if this can hold for it as well. I'm going to adjust a stop, right? Our stop was 331. We said we use the 50. And there it is right there. So the 50 period now, let's change this, 330. So now our stop is 330, which is fine by me. If it breaks higher than that, we'll get out of 100%. And hopefully locking in, now that I do the math, that will lock in a profit. So we've done pretty good here. So far, so good into the close 315. Thank you so much for everybody. Nimrod, I didn't even see, I don't know if Neil, if you covered this. But,
I didn't see it, but.
All right, well, we got it right here. Before it goes away. Started with a massive accident. Okay, fat finger there. 1,000 shares of Palantir instead of 100. Yeah, that's not happened to me, but it happens to Neil almost all the time, it seems like. But we fixed it. And again, that could be anything, right? Like fat fingers or software or anything. So make sure, great. I don't even know where you're going with this, but what we do whenever that happens to us is you might want to get out immediately and then reassess or get out of 900 shares. It was at 116, took the dogs out. Oh, without realizing it, okay, well, come on, Nimrod. Yeah, so return when it dropped to 112. That's 4 grand. What do I do? Okay, well, good. I didn't even read the question. I think I just answered it to you there.
Well,
so the first thing you should be doing is not taking your dog out for a walk if you've not really double checked the current positions that you have. So even when I go get a coffee or a tea or anything like that, I'll double check my stop orders. I'll make sure that they're right. I'll also make sure that we don't have any other pending orders. But for right now, these Qs are making a nice move to the downside. So everything is going well. We'll have to get some more bids there. But that's what I would do. Just double check your positions. And it hasn't happened to me in forever, but I know Neil's talked about it many times on the show where it has happened to him. So that's it for me. Just double check your software, know what to do, and don't panic. Just settle down.
Because the thing about it is, the market doesn't care what just happened to you. If you get into a position like that, all you can do is the best you can with the position. Like there's no point. Like if you freak out about it, it's just not going to help you. All you can do is, you might be screwed depending on the stock and depending on the liquidity, but that's gone. All there is the position, and for you to cover it and limit the damage to the best of your ability when that happens to you. Just very quickly, SOPA, trend in, trend out, as easy peasy as it gets. There's your trend. It broke prior bar, got long 580. It broke trend with a wick high underneath 660, jumped out of it. So very quickly, just grab that 10%. I understand it's up 140%. But these stocks, if they pull back, it'll get a little bit nasty. And the second I saw it making that curl, you could see it happening at the 650. You have the trend line up there. You could throw a 1-minute chart up. Oh, you know what? I actually don't even know if it saves you or probably doesn't. Like if you throw a 1-minute chart up, you're going to see the topping tail candle on a 1-minute chart. That's what I don't want to see happen. It could always hold on to this $6 level as well, which would be the all day long trend. That could give you another entry point in there. But that's the kind of trend I'm looking for here. Those little mean reversions, those little bounce plays. And we're going to have to forget about it on Firefly, because Firefly was trending down. I thought this was going to flat bottom break and go into VWAP. It just held $8 and is already at $9. So SOPA went great. Firefly still going up 192%. And just made another bounce. It refuses to flush AIFF here. It might not give us that move that we're looking for into VWAP this afternoon. Wow.
All right. again, like not even really sure what to think right now. We are already having our best day of the month, and then this happened. So here's Tesla now, $3 in the money in 15 minutes. We just take a bid there as well. $2.50 in the money, my bad. If it breaks 326, we get the full $3. So, all right, just thinking about it, we have about 40% left of this trade. So it's nice. That level is now 229.50. I'm just going to keep on adjusting this, man, to the point where now it's not even a loser. 229. I'm just going to go, let's go 229.01, figuring that it probably, if it does come up to break that, we'll get out of 50% of what we have left, if it gets up to that level. All right. All right, so there it is. All right, so now we'll wait to see what winds up happening on that trade. I mean, again, big day. Congratulations, anybody. Congratulations, Adara, that rode this with me as well right now. Neil's into the short there on Intel. I like that. Our TQs, we got another fill, but I'm starting to right now not even really worry about this trade. We just can just sort of top off our day here by capturing some profit now on this and just leave it at that. I mean, it may not be that big winner to the downside into the close like I was hoping for, and I'd be fine with that. Let's just not turn this trade into a losing trade. That could happen. I'm going to bid some 41s. Hopefully that will slam and we'll at least get that. Then my next fill is at 31s where we had just missed it right there. Hopefully that comes in again for us. There's a 41 fill. We are at 31. Hopefully that will come through. I don't have any more bids until much lower than that. So we'll see if we can get into the 20s, and then VWAP would be really nice as we try to retrace back down a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. Pretty simple trading over on this side, and makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to remain short into the close. We will double check out our friend SMCI as that's back down to 39. We did talk about maybe missing what could have potentially been a great long down there at 39. We had wrote it down, but we did not take it. And there's the 39. That was right when we started the show. We had indicated about that level. I did not take it, and yeah, mistake. Again, nervous about it into the earnings, so that's fine. We'll just stick with what we know, and that right now is Tesla.
If they happen.
Yeah, don't jinx it, man.
It's
Hopefully,
a big if, man.
Do. But the earnings, I think the earnings are pretty much confirmed.
No, they've confirmed. They actually didn't call it earnings. They just said
it'd be disappointing if it doesn't come through.
What was the term?
I'm gonna get another piece of.
They just said numbers.
Well, we can go to Adara for the full story, but I think it is pretty much an economic an update, some sort of financial update.
For some reason, they didn't want to call it an
maybe
earnings
what
release,
they called it.
Which doesn't make any sense to me.
A release of earnings, right? All right, so there goes Tesla. Again, not there goes. We just got a nice out on Tesla. We took a 327 fill. So getting lighter and lighter on this. Now we have only a third left, as it's just $1.50 now in the money. It was $2.50. That was our best fill right down there. We have a 326.25 fill. So that was monstrous, and that's really made the big difference for me right here on the net so far, was this move to the downside here on Tesla. Like I said, thank you so much. It's really nice that we hit this milestone today, and we're able to have my best day here so far this month. So good move there. We need a Gulf of Canada. Yeah, where exactly would that be there? Lake Ontario or something?
Well, we have a lot of
Would it be just called Lake Upstate New York, or what would that be called? We'll figure that out. I'm sure Donald Trump can sign something. I saw the hilarious thing. He signed the decree or whatever they're called there to call it the Gulf of America while he was flying over the Gulf of America. So that was good photo op.
Don't at me with this one.
Okay, hold on a second.
If you pull it up on a map, and you actually look at the Gulf, it's not ridiculous, man. Like
no,
a lot of borders.
It's whatever it is.
It's like, and on top of that, who cares? That's
more important.
On top of that, who cares? I think if you
don't get all wrapped up about things that really don't.
There are a heck of a lot more things.
Lake 51st State. Yeah, I like that one too.
Let's not. Yeah, let's not.
I mean, what if there's more states? Like, what does Greenland then become? Just another country? And why can't we be like a country part of the United States?
If there's a betting market on things that could happen of that trio, like the whole 51st state thing, it's the Panama Canal. That's the one that I actually think would happen.
Remember, he's turning Gaza over to the United States.
But I think
this is a very, very ambitious president, needless to say.
To me, to secure that seems a little bit more likely than the rest. But
It might be a little easier to secure us as a 51st state than Gaza, but we'll wait to see if that does happen.
Greenland's too.
All right, so just real quick, man. I don't want to go too much on this. If this breaks through 329, we're just going to use the 50 period because since we had talked about that, remember we had 60% left. Well, we've got filled. So right now we have a third left, and they've been great fills down here. So hopefully we can retrace back in. I'm just going to cancel that order and now put a 320. Oops, not 3. See, 239, that's how you make keystroke errors. 329 right there, 01. If we do break above, we will get out of a Hyundai P. So there we go right now. We'll wait to see what happens there. But yeah, so far so good on this. Futures are really making a difference for me today as well. As
120 million.
Oh man, let's go. I hope you guys are with me so far this afternoon. We shorted the futures. That's a good one, man. I mean, I'm making money, so if you guys are hopefully in it with me. And then we shorted Tesla, which has been huge. Tesla now goes to P&L 3 for the show. So big moves to the downside there. Hopefully your intel works out. I really do like that short. We thought there was almost no news.
Well, it actually was a better short up here. We shorted it off like this crazy wick high when the trend reverted. This is why I like mean reversion trades. Like I was in it a couple times. I actually lost going long on Intel. Could have held on to the short, trailed out of it, reversed long, lost long, and now we're short on a VWAP break, just looking for it to push down. The thing to remember about Intel, it seems like there's always an imbalance of some size on Intel, whether it's a mill here or a mill there. It's on 127 million shares today, which is easily the biggest volume it's done. Well, it does a lot of volume sometimes, but this is one of the bigger volume days. So I would suspect it's going to take a significant imbalance to do anything, but it's a simple VWAP short here on Intel. I actually think, notwithstanding this short, Intel's probably closing above the 50-period moving average, which to me, it closed above the 50 and then a couple of closes, I should say, and then breaking the local high above the 50 is usually a swing long setup for any stock that's made a bottom like this. And I would argue it almost looks like it could be one already. That said, it's a VWAP trade down here, even if I think the daily chart's starting to look a little bit short-term bullish. That's left brain, right brain as far as I'm concerned. So I'm kind of thinking the long looks pretty good on a swing basis. Not yet, but it's going to close above that 50 period, which is always a good thing. In my mind, come on, AIFF. If SOPA can do it, you can do it too. Yeah, AIF, you're running out of time for this to make some kind of a move. Obviously, if it does that little pullback into VWAP and it's like 350 or something, I'm not likely to want it. But there's still time for it to do that little bit of a pullback here, dip by into VWAP on, I keep saying AIFF, and you guys are like, what the heck is that? It's Firefly.
No, people know what AIFF is.
Yeah, but why did they call it, why would you call it AIFF? AI Firefly.
AI Firefly.
Like Firefly AI would make more sense to me. FFAI, that's logical. AIFF to me is, let's do it the other way.
All right, what's up to Charlie Taff right here? He's up over 70% realized with these Tesla trades. I mean, Tesla's right now, we almost made 326 again. So I'm going to bid down here at 326 flat. Charlie, A all and do this. But you know what? I'm actually making more money, to be honest with you, on the TQs. Like this is for me the Tesla's a better trade, but I'm making more money here. So just in case you guys were wondering about what's going on with that trade, we just started to cover some at 25 and so on and so forth as we get lighter and lighter on it. I only now have a quarter of this left, but this was a little bit of a trade as we had discussed why we were going short up here. And there it is, man. The pullback, average in, there, get out for flat, then boom to the downside. This is exactly how we want to trade the futures. So we're putting up digits here on the futures. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on Tesla as well as Microsoft. I'm hearing apparently CNBC reporting that Sam Altman has told the OpenAI staff that the board of directors hasn't seen anything official from Elon Musk's consortium yet. In case you missed it, yesterday we had the Wall Street Journal reporting that a consortium led by Elon Musk basically put out an unsolicited $97.4 billion bid to acquire OpenAI. We had Sam Altman earlier say at an AI summit that this was not official. He hadn't received anything. Now it seems like we had that repeated. Nothing has actually been seen by OpenAI as far as an actual bid for the company goes. Back to you.
Okay.
That's a good. Thank you for the update. We got another super chat from Nimrod on the same topic here. So Nimrod, appreciate the super chat. You can always just ask us the question. You can. We love all the super chats. You can ask us they tag us, put our names in the chat, like any of us that are on the show for follow-up. But would you cut the 5K loss on a name like Palantir or hold? Asking in general to learn from the next time. You're still holding, you like a Palantir long, and it's 8 hours time difference, and we had a happy hour or two today, so it wasn't 100% sober. So that kind of goes to that point of like just double checking your orders, especially if you're inebriated in that situation. It's one thing to like something for a long-term hold where your time frame is years and you believe in Palantir 5-10 years from now, or even a year or two from now, or like half a year from now, and wanting to hold on to it. That has to be part of your plan. Turning a swing trade into a long-term trade because it happens to be against you is generally not a good idea. Everybody has done it. Everybody has been there before. I have done it before, and I cannot think of a single time when I have not regretted it. And even when it works out, even when it has worked out, I've still felt like a bit of a fool for doing it. So you have to understand your own risk tolerance. I don't know how much that means to you, Nimrod, and you've got to understand your own risk. But generally speaking, turning a swing into a long-term position is a dangerous way to go about things. Like I said, everyone's done it at some point, and it usually is a bad idea. That's all.
All right. Thanks, Nimrod, for that, and I hope everybody learns a little bit from that talk. So I think that's very valuable. So thanks. Good question and good topic. We could probably do some videos on that at some point. All right. We could also do some videos on how to make winning trades. And again, like we're doing this live. We're doing it live. And again, here goes Tesla and the TQs. Like I said, this is a bigger trade. Give me those 21s, man. Like this is a 40 handle face slapper. So like this trade right here is the one for me. I'm really proud of Tesla, obviously, because I know there's a lot of traders that are in this there with me and that have looked at this trade to the downside. So big time trade alert there. You were just in Intel, but you discussed it, so Intel's out there now. But yeah, man, we are really stacking into the close now. I don't know who's here, who wants to talk. I mean, what do you guys want to talk about right now? I've just sort of told you, I don't have any negative stocks today. We're having our biggest day. So if you want to ask me about anything, you can. Palantir right now, I'm thinking about 113. We'd sold some there at 114 today in our own account. We talked about that over lunchtime. We don't really do it while we're on the air, of course. But yeah, this could break as well. I'm already short. So if you guys want to get short as well, fine. But yeah, I don't like the long, although the market is trying to bounce a little bit here. I am almost out of this position. We just got that 21. We mentioned how that was going to be a big position for me, a big area as we get right into that 200 period moving average. So far, so good on the day. We'll have to wait to see what happens now into the close as TQ is trying to go lower. And Tesla bounced off 266 again. 266. Ooh, that might be a bad omen. I keep saying that. 326 right there. Hopefully we get that low. We're only in a third of this still. What's up, Adara?
Just be aware here, we do have Feds William and Bowman speaking right now. I've not seen any comments from Bowman coming through the wire yet, but I'm seeing some comments from Feds Williams saying that the economy is in a good place, but the economic outlook is pretty uncertain, in part due to government policy. We've heard a lot from different Fed members, including Chair Powell during the testimony today, about how tariffs might play into this uncertainty. However, the really big thing here are Fed Williams' comments on inflation, saying that inflation is likely to hang out around that 2.5% level this year, with 2% more likely to come in coming years. So yeah, they're expecting basically 2.5% inflation as of right now, basically more like slowing, I guess, in terms of that inflation dropping. Nothing super new, but just worth noting that Williams and Bowman are both speaking. Guys, back to you.
Tesla just hit 326 right there to the downside. So again, congratulations everybody that has this trade. I know the Intel was a quick one for you, but I don't know if you're looking at anything else. I'm probably just going to sit in this. We did cover some more TQs. We're just really, really happy, obviously, heading into today. A big day for us here and a big day trading. Thank you so much to everybody. I really hope that we're able to pad some of your stats here into the close. So again, just a big day. Gave you this trade and it's worked out. I don't know where you guys were thinking about it. Shout out to Charlie and everybody else that's short with me here. Dara had a banger on that as well. So yeah, Good trade there into the close. Let's just hold it. It's now $3, Neil. And as I had mentioned before, we're not even making that much. Like, we're making more money right now on the TQ short than we are on this Tesla short. So let's just keep the good vibes going. And again, thanks to everybody. It's been a big one around here. Yeah,
that's what it's all about. Like, as long as you're green on the day, as long as you're having a good day. I'm going to stick a fork in AIFF. It's starting to, maybe not yet, but it's starting to look like it's not going to do the SOPA move. Like, SOPA gave you the break, it gave you the reversion, it gave you a 10% move. I keep saying AIFF. Firefly, it's now just going sideways. This is incredibly impressive. It's impressive that it can do 186 million and actually hold this high to the upside, but there's no risk trade for me in here. It's got to do a move. It's either got to break back above the trend and then you can get a breakout, or you can do some kind of a dip where you can get a dip buy. I'm going to maybe move on to something a little bit else if we can find it. There are some early lows, but not a heck of a lot on the locator. There might be a couple of things closing today in terms of index action, so might have to look out for some of those as we come into the end of the day. And then there is also NVIDIA just losing VWAP. So NVIDIA just lost VWAP. It's now breaking down underneath. This is going to be a 133 test here. Actually, local bottom is 132.90 on NVDA. As with any NVIDIA trade, respect the fact that NVIDIA at 350, one way or another, typically has a big spike. Whether it's a buy and bounce or sell and bounce, it's usually going to move. In the next 15 minutes, I would expect some kind of reversion one way or the other. But if it does lose support, I'd want NVIDIA to the short. I haven't traded it short since earlier in the afternoon. I haven't traded this thing since about 1 o'clock. But it's starting to look like it wants to break down as well. Still like that Firefly, but we're really running out of time for it to do that dip and rip.
All right, man. It just keeps on coming back, but I don't have too much else to go. We could talk about what's going on with the earnings here tonight. So let's just have a quick look at what we're doing here again today. This might be my best day of the year right now, P&L wise. So let's wait to see if that's true or not. All right. So, where was it right here? I thought we tweeted. Oh, yeah, here it is. Coming into earnings tonight, Gilead, Upstart, DoorDash, LYFT, Zoom, and SMCI. We look forward to. Wow. The futures are now doing it, guys. All right. I mean, we could probably stamp this as probably my most profitable day of the year so far here today. So again, thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to everybody for being here. As we go to the downside there, it's the futures right now. I tried to tell you that we're up more on this. We just got an 07 fill right there on this future. So it is. Another one. Yeah. So props up to everybody there as we continue to go, man. Ozan, I can't. I have 3 kids, man. Neil's got 1. Maybe he'll adopt you. I don't know if that would be acceptable to you or not, Ozan or Neil. But what up, Ozan? Yeah, he's willing to take you, so you can go there, live in Brampton. But for right now, the TQs, man, just really, really sending us another one on that fill. That's a wrap, Neil. Honestly, man. I mean, right now we're $4. We're 5. I mean. We can't really say that we're 50 cents in the money on TQs. We are, but it's like 50 handles, as you guys know. And then the Tesla trade is just kablam, man. Breaks the bottom of the day. And there we go into 325. My bid is 323.50. I'm just like, let this thing fall. I mean, we don't even know what these imbalances are going to bring, what's going to happen right here. Just another monster move there as we continue to go. You know what we could do, though? Why don't we just do a quick check on, because we're doing this, let's just see who, at Real Trading yesterday, what were some of the top traders. So I'm actually just going to refresh this. This is... in our, we call it TIP, Trader Information Portal. So you guys could definitely go check that out if you are part of Day Trade the World. This is something that we can, gotta switch my default there, make sure we get out as I watch this. So yesterday, 16,000. So this was yesterday's, not today's. Someone dropped 16 on Amex and NASDAQ. Then just quickly, make sure I have the stop there. Tesla just went back up to 326 right there on a little bit of a move. We'll deal with that after. Okay, Amex, we don't have too many shares left. Amex, New York, NASDAQ, just a look there, CME again. So there's a Canada at 6,400. That's nice to see. Another one there at 5,000. So we don't have too much uniqueness here as far as Europe yesterday, but looks like all North America. That was, who's making money at Real Trading yesterday? We don't, I would show you the down traders, but unfortunately I don't have that information. Definitely traders lost money yesterday. So those are just the top few. I'm going to get out of one more and then we'll hold the rest. 326 O's. If we can get that to the downside, one more push. There it is. Okay, well, we got it. So now we'll just wait. We do have now 20% left. And our stop now, 328. So we obviously cannot lose on this. Tesla rockets up the board. P&L number 2 could be 3 depending on that. Uber was a good trade for us. So yeah, man, so far so good over here.
Yeah, great look on Tesla there. I said if Rigetti goes SSR, I'm going long. If it does a reversion, so it didn't get to 1070 on the daily. I'll go to a daily chart in a second. On a daily chart.
Oh wow.
Where is it? Why did I just get out flat? Oh, I know why. Because I moved my stop to the wrong spot. Let's just get right back in at the same price. It is short sell restricted. So if you are trying to short the stock, I just got in and out at 15 and then back in at 14. Prior bar low is the out. And we only have about 10 minutes to the imbalances. So it either works right away or it doesn't work at all on Rigetti. But we do like SSR bounces. It's not a great day for Rigetti. I didn't see any news on it in particular. When I was talking about it on the daily chart, this is $10.70. It bounced off this last time. I think if it bounces tomorrow, I'd look for a swing long. But today, we're just looking for a quick little bounce going into the end of the day. I don't want to put any LFT on, but this is one of those trades. Like if Rigetti's down 10% and it doesn't mean reversion, then I'm want to take a shot at it. If we get into 1025, 1030, that's when we're going to start to get some outs. SMCI apparently is dumping as well. But no
the whole market. I mean, we're 100 handles in right now. I mean, great trading. I hope you guys are on this market, man. We said this was going to be a jam for a while. What's up, Ramin? We said this was going to be a jam for a while, and it looks like that is exactly that. Look at the market. I don't even know what to do. I mean, I wish we'd still had the full position, but we do not. So right now, we'll just wait to see what winds up happening here. But wow, huge move down now. As you can see where this NASDAQ's going, just an absolute monster move down. Not really on the NASDAQ, but down on the TQs there for me. Anyways, as I said, Tesla's been a good one, as have the futures. So getting lighter and lighter. Oh, I did not switch that to 328. So let's do that right now. We'll actually get aggressive with this. 327.50, because maybe this bounces. 327.50. So we'll get out. Let's get out at 75% of it if it goes back up. Okay, there it is. So we will put that out. We'll get out at 75% of the Tesla trade if it does go back up through that level. So that's sort of my trigger there for Tesla. So again, that was 327, whatever this level is right there. I put it at 50. It looks like it's, let's change it and put it to where it is, 75s. So 327, I'm switching it right now to 75. So that's going to be my stop. We'll get out of half of what we have left, which is only 20%. So far, so good. It looks like this will be another successful day here for us trading on Tesla. Tesla was a monster trade yesterday into the close, and it looks like we did it again. So if you're going to do anything, maybe join me at the close, and we'll see what we can do right there. But nicely traded there on Tesla. I hope some of you guys are having some luck as the market seems to be. Again, nice move down right into VWAP. We had that whole move. Top, like we have the whole move, right? Top to bottom. So right there, I'm gonna put out another bid on the TQs. We'll bid some 92s there. Hopefully it comes back in. You know what? Let's punch out some 94s just in case. Just getting out lighter and lighter and lighter. It's 342, man. We're just minutes away now until the imbalances. So yeah, again, happy with today. I hope all of you guys are doing good. Message by the Bears versus Bulls. Thank you. Oh, SMCI, right. I was looking at $39 for that today. We talked about staying away. I still think this is a good level for SMCI, but at the end of the day, not really worth trading here into the close. I like 39 because of this consolidation that we'd seen yesterday early. And that was good, and it looked like it worked perfectly today, but you're just into that again, 38.50 bottom. So I think we nailed SMCI again as far as a bid, but we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 today, and had some pretty good successes here late. So again, hope you're enjoying it. We'll join Adair and I at the close.
Yeah, and keep in mind, everybody, SMCI has a 19% expected move by Friday. So that's not, the site I looked at had nothing to do with the earnings move. It was essentially just an options calculator for the expiry on Friday, and it was 19% by the end of the week. So I would suspect it is going to be a big mover. No questions asked. There's no big market moving name, so I'm not worried about the Qs doing anything. during the aftermarket, but expect SMCI to lead the way. Upstart, a big short float as well, going to be a bit of a big one. You're now 7 minutes away from the imbalances, so we expect sometimes we get some reversions. Rigetti's going to try its best to do a bit of a revert here. It's only moved a couple of cents here, but I want to be out of this before 350, or at least starting to take profit before 350. So I just moved my orders a little bit tighter to this 1130. You're also working against the clock for any potential trade. Like I said, stick a fork in Firefly. We'll come back to this one tomorrow. Oh, I strongly suspect Firefly is not going to be trading here tomorrow and giving you the same opportunity. My guess is it's going to gap up or down a couple of bucks on Firefly. Richard Niza, I love Rigetti. I do like Rigetti, actually. Candidly, my wife...
Were you just in it or no?
We're still in it.
Yeah, okay.
No, I...
show. Oh, in it. Yeah, sorry.
No, this is a daily chart.
Yeah.
So, actually... I only show the executions on my 15-minute and the 3-minute because I don't want my daily chart to be clogged up with that kind of stuff. I want my daily chart to be clean. So when we show you guys levels, I want to be able to see this, not have a bunch of like triangles in there. So, purples will be short, but we're long this one at 11.14, looking for it to hold the lows. But I like Rigetti because it's been holding that 15 period. And when I used to trade QBTS, actually, when the quantum stuff happened, I was trading D-Wave most of the time. And this stock just moved better. It gives you bigger opportunities when it does start going. Recently, it's been a little bit of a kind of a nothing burger until this little pop down, and now it's down 10% for a bit of a reversal trade. Heron, what are imbalances? They're just the mechanism by which you do the closing auction and opening auctions. Halts work this way, where people enter orders for the open of a stock or the close of a stock with market on open, market on close, limit on open, limit on close orders, and then they take them into the system. As they're coming into the system, the imbalance, which they publicize in about 5 minutes, simply shows you if they had to execute all of the limit and market orders right now at equilibrium. On Schwab, there'd be 2.5 million leftover sells with 900,000 paired, so the total amount of orders into the auction that'll execute is about 3.4 something million. And there's 2.5 million more sells if they had to do an auction here. So it's just an early look on this. At 350, you'll see the real number. And at that point, it doesn't necessarily mean the stock will go up or down based on the imbalance, but it's not a bad guide, especially if you happen to be in position in said stock. We've seen it before. And it's doubly important if there's an index action like Palantir added to the S&P 500. NU was a big one. None bigger than when Tesla was added to the S&P 500. That was the kind of thing that made people's careers. So yeah, it's usually a bigger deal when you have some kind of an index action, but on any given day, it can matter.
Yeah, that Tesla was a big trade for sure. All right, so speaking about Tesla, I mean, we have a $4 3 and change winner right now as we break in. So watch out for those imbalances. And again, thank you for hitting the like and the subscribe, as today we hit 500,000. All right, so you guys want to look, let's check out Big Bear AI just for a little bit here. I don't have much going on right now as we sort of have our bids and our offers. And I put some bids lower on TQs, down 6% today is Big Bear AI. So I want to buy this name eventually. Maybe we should dip buy some of this right now. We dip bought Rigetti at $6 when it was there on the daily. I don't know if we'll get back to 4, but this was just at 5 last week. So I think like a dip buy into 6 or maybe even 7, 650 or so for Big Bear AI could be a play that we decide to look at some point. So that could be something there on Big Bear into that. I did put a bid on the TQs down here just in case we fell into 75 again. So that would be a great trade. Oh, and what I want to talk about, if you guys remember the stop that we had, so we were stopped at 66. Those 11 cents worth of risk right there. That's 65. So we went to 66. We talked about that as it was happening. So right there, 11, let's just call it 20 cents with the average price there. 20 cents worth of risk to make 70 so far. So not bad. Doesn't mean that it's going to last, though, as we just talked about what we expect here into this close. So, I mean, Tesla right now is at its day low. I did not bid 325s. I'm hoping that we can get lower. I just told you where I'm bidding, 320, 350. I'm going to put another, I have to change my shares because I was only there for a minute because we've gotten out since. So 320, 355, we'll put it there. All right, here we go. Tesla at day's low. It's a $4 winner heading into these imbalances. So if you're riding with me, congratulations. If you're riding with Neil, you got Rigetti on right now. And yeah, into a pretty good day overall. Like I said, it will be my top day. So thank you everybody for watching. And yeah, the market's not great, to be honest with you. We just had the bangers on. Like honestly, it's just the fact that this moved. Like the futures could have done nothing. But we found this level and we shorted it and it just paid off. And having part of it is having confidence, sticking with your trades. And then different stops will hit, right? Like Intel, Neil was short underneath 21. Look at that, it went up, good move, because it's going higher as the market's going lower. So a lot of it is gonna be what stocks you pick and where you ride. And right now we're riding with Tesla to the downside and the futures to the downside with just a good look. We're seeing the board great right now. And yeah, the hits just keep on coming. With only 30 seconds to go though, we're getting lighter and lighter. We talked about that 20% left on Tesla and less than 5% left on the TQQs.
Yeah, 30 seconds to go till the imbalances come in. LTBR overlooked says hysterical. We got about 20 seconds, so we can look at LTBR for you for sure. There was a great question in the chat, and it was about this being a day trading show. Do we talk about swings? We'll usually talk about any swing trading we do on our personal accounts. Almost everybody will look at stocks on a longer term basis when we go over the charts. We have guests on that definitely will talk about that. We have Michael Loss on twice a week that talks about those types of trades. LTBR, I don't know if it's been overlooked. It's been overlooked by the market today, down about 7%, but volume's only 2.8 million. That's sort of the thing. Like you saw SOPA was a mover. Obviously, Firefly has been a mover. Even Rigetti was a mover. That's why you take these shots. But even as Rigetti went, I could have scalped 3 cents on it. I'm not trying to take 3 cents on Rigetti. That's not the way. If I'm risking 8 pennies on it, then I'm not taking anything out, well, 7 cents on it, then I'm not taking anything out for a 3 or 4 cent win. It's either going and breaking this 1120 high and continuing on an SSR bounce and giving you that good risk to reward, not necessarily going to be my style on Rigetti. Again, if you have a different style and you want to take that, it did give you an opportunity to take a little bit of profit going into like 20, 21s. But now it's on that downward press, probably going to break 11. I think you got to be a wait and see what happens at this 50 period, because the last time it did it, it breached the 50 period, held, and then rallied for a couple of weeks on Rigetti. So I don't think it's like a blind buy the 50 period on Rigetti tonight or tomorrow. I want to see it hold up. And even if you have to get it at some point in the middle of the day, if it makes the bounce, I think you'd be absolutely fine. But it's definitely looking like it's at a pretty good level for me for some kind of a little bit of a swing trade, I would say, on Rigetti.
All right, so yeah, in and out there on RGTI. I'm bidding, okay, so TQs, we did get some out there at 85. I'm stopping out the rest if we break the 200 period. Again, those imbalances do come out. I just bid out on Tesla as well. So yeah, man, I mean, so far so good as we look out at these imbalances. Let me have a quick look at them right now. I didn't even look them up yet, so we'll have to wait to see. Yeah, it doesn't look like too much anything. Oh, NVIDIA is a big buy, but we're not in it, so it's only a mil, yeah, so we're not in it, so no worries or no sweat off your boy's back right here on that one. But yeah, so that's what that is. NVIDIA, nice move, not much happening as you guys can see. So yeah, man, like we keep saying, I'm glad you guys all enjoyed the show. Keep it coming, man. We're gonna have some more fun here tomorrow. We're gonna have pineapple pizza. We have some champagne here today. And we're just gonna watch out to see what's happening. So if the futures go great, we just got another piece out there on Tesla. So far so good on that one. Hey, look, if it breaks 327, we can get out now. The initial stop was 327.50 or so. We're just going to use this right now. 327.16s, all out there. And then Neil, unfortunately, it will just be a $2 winner on the last 10% of this trade. So yeah, so far so good. TQ's trying to get back up. We know that area of concern. I'm going to go log in over there and then come right back and see what happens with this. Make sure we're ready for the recap show. So the Trump and Elon honeymoon appears to be over. I would agree with that.
You mean the honeymoon, not their honeymoon, the honeymoon on the market? I don't know that that's over just yet. The market's flat today. Ultimately, I still think you're going to get a good environment. It depends on what you're looking at. We just talked about financials. Why am I still on Rigetti? We were talking about financials being super strong. I think that theme has held up really well today. Look at JP Morgan. Like, it's obviously going to be, I think you're going to be in a great environment in a general sense for the financial industry. And part of that's because less regulation. Certainly, we're getting a little bit of uncertainty in the market. But the fact that Tesla's down doesn't necessarily mean it's doom and gloom everywhere else. Nasdaq's down 0.3% today. The ES is actually up today. So obviously you're getting a lot of strength in other places to make up for this. Obviously the financials are just one example of that for sure. I know Rigetti's about to lose that 11. Oh, AIF is also going to continue to the downside as well. Going to have to watch out for that. But you got to take things and put them into different buckets, I find. On a day like today, you're going to have a name like Meta, which is fresh all-time highs, up for 17 days in a row, still green, up 0.5%. You're going to have a name like Apple, which up 2%. It had news, obviously, with Apple and Alibaba. And then you're going to have a bleed like Tesla. NVIDIA, kind of sticking it in the middle, being essentially flat on the day for NVIDIA. So I don't know. I'm not calling any honeymoon over. Obviously, the market is still a bit of a living and breathing thing. Here comes SMCI, a little bit of a move here. We don't have a time necessarily. They said 420 possibly for SMCI. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of a early or late move for SMCI. They just need to report the numbers. I think that's going to be good enough. Let me just cancel some orders and some stops. Make sure we don't get anything accidentally. Cancel that NVIDIA stop order. SMCI down 8%. There's a lot at stake for this name, no questions asked. They delayed the report. They had an investigation. There's so much room to the upside for SMCI that I know there's a lot of people that have been betting for this one to be along, but you have to keep in mind just how far this has come going into this print. Like, we were at $26 last week, made a high of 43. So this did more than a 50% move, which clearly people are taking some risk off here. At a bare minimum, if things are bad, you've got to be thinking about $27, $28. The other side of that coin is, look at what happens if it breaks out of 50 resistance on SMCI. Like, that's obviously going to be a big one. It's going to be fantastic. That's why you're joining Sean and Adara. 420 is the expected time. At 355, usually you get some flips. NVIDIA, that 1.6 mil, gone. That flipped. Not a big enough imbalance that I would care. Had that been 4 or 5 million shares, I think you'd usually look for some kind of reversion. But 1.6 million into 155 million is not a big imbalance whatsoever for NVIDIA. Kind of expected there to be a couple of deletions at the end of the day. They ended up being some nothing burgers on the imbalance locator. So there wasn't a heck of a lot to gravitate toward to. Might be a couple tomorrow. Scott Capps, I just saw you say Kava is tanking. I haven't looked at that stock in a hot minute. I was, yeah, we can look at it now. It's fine. I don't think it's actually that big of a move to the downside for Kava. It's down 7%. Rigetti's down 10%, but not a very, very good look for Kava. Still a pretty strong stock in a general sense. But yeah, there's a lot that is bleeding. Like I said, buckets, try to respect what is strong. This is why you buy strong stocks, in my opinion. And because then you're not terribly worried when a stock is down 7% or 5% or whatever it might be. It just gives you a buying opportunity. At the end of the day, Kava not having a good day, but you're not likely to be day trading the stock with only 2 million shares in volume. There is some volume going into the close here, David and BG into Tesla. But remember, at 355, regardless of whether a stock has an imbalance or not, just the simple fact that you have a bunch of these things turning at the same time, you typically will get mean reversions, even on stocks that don't have imbalances. So when 355 hits, sometimes you'll get a volume spike regardless. Tesla didn't have an imbalance, but it looks like it just caught a volume spike. That's normal. 355, you're going to get volume spikes. Sometimes if it has a big imbalance, you get another one at 358. But that's probably the reason why you got a little bit of a bid. And it is the biggest volume candle. That's perfectly normal. You usually see a 350 volume candle, a 355 volume candle. And like I said, if there's an imbalance, you might see a 358. But not much else happening in here. I'm going to be double checking that AIF. I have a funny feeling this stock is going to do the move that we're expecting after 4 o'clock when there's less liquidity. Right now, someone is defending $8 pretty heavily. And it can't do a dip into VWAP in 7 if someone's going to defend it the way they are.
All right. We might still be muted, and we are. All right. And just quickly here, we got out of Tesla. I mean, obviously a big trade. It doesn't, we were lucky, not lucky. I mean, it bounced off 325 and we were able to get a bunch out down there as well. So a good trade there into the close and then we got some more fills there as we just got set up into the after show. A bunch of fills down here at the bottom. So good trading there. I'm actually just going to tap out of it. If we can get the 90s, then we will get out and then we'll just move off of it. So again, thank you so much for all of the support and everything here today. I'm going to be flat into that close. Get ready for Upstart. I saw that it made a nice move here into the close. Did it hold? No. So there it was up there in the $69 at 3 o'clock and then a fade back there into the close tonight. We do also have, of course, DoorDash, I think could be exciting. The other one may be Lyft and Uber. So it's not Uber, it's just Lyft, but it could be a name, obviously, to look out for there into the close with only a minute left. So Lyft down 4% with its implied move of 20%. So that should be a good one. DoorDash 9% here. Dash coming at the end of the day. Wow, 193. Didn't even realize that price right there for DoorDash. I don't know why it's not loading, but there it is, flat on the day with a little bit of a move up there right at the end. So we'll see what's up with that. But yeah, okay, so that's that. DoorDash all tonight. Not much else though, man. Upstart Gilead is another one right there at 4 as well. So
Oh boy.
yeah, and then Zillow also. So oh boy.
Good luck, Bryce, in the chat. Just saying he's in SMCI going into the earnings.
SMCI.
That's
We didn't have that. I have that one written down, but there is no size.
well, that's the thing. We don't know what the expected move in. The only thing I can find. Let's go to the bell right here for Adara in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. Thank you very much. Just the last thing I was going to say is the 19% expected move is based on options expiring on Friday. So it's not really an earnings expectation move so much as it's just what's expected by the end of the week. Obviously, there are options on SMCI. That is the big one, but there's so much else reporting. SMCI just made a fresh low, actually. So numbers aren't out, and we're expecting them at 420. But SMCI on the close just tagged 9% to the downside. It is a bit of a sell-off from the last couple of days. Clearly, some profit taking. It was up 50% from last week's lows on SMCI. So I guess some people are just banking the profit if they can. Thank you so much to everybody. Getting that 500,000 subscribers is fantastic for us. And the entire community, just want to thank, from everybody in the team, just want to thank everybody that views every single day. Our entire trading community has been fantastic. And shout out to Fabian and Armin on the ones too. Shout out to the Midday Bash Brothers. Shout out to Adara on the desk. We'll be joined by Sean. And I don't know if we mentioned Brian Shannon today because it is a Tuesday. So we're going to have Brian Shannon as well on the aftermarket. Big shout out, of course, to Obi, who you see fill in for us. Big shout out to Brendan, Andre, the entire team. And a big shout out to Bears versus Bulls and you guys, the viewers, for everything that you do. SMCI is moving. I'm expecting it's going to be the big volume event, not until 420, but there are other earnings names to get to, whether it's Lyft, whether it's Upstart. Certainly a lot's going to be going. And it is happening at the desk for the market recap, which begins about now.
What's up, everybody? Thank you, Neil, for that one, man. We go from the desk right back over to here. Big day alert out there. I hear somebody, it must be Adara, maybe in my ear still, so I will get out of that one right there. Okay, well, let me know when it's possible. CRISPR Therapeutics right now starting to go to the upside. This is another name they just reported. We actually didn't talk about this during the main show, but CRISPR now out. I put it back in. That makes a nice move up there to 40 and change. 25% short float right now on CRSP. Gilead now out as well. Wow. Bang. Nice move up here for Gilead. GILD right now. Gilead Sciences upside move into 98 and change right now goes GILD. Join us with Brian Shannon coming up very soon. This is a daily chart right here. You can see it did top out at $99 previously. It looks like we did it again. This stock does have 99 problems. It looks like the price. That's a good little stopping zone right there. Nice bounce up there for Gilead. That is now out. Let me know, Adara, when those numbers come through as well. Right now, Avis Budget. Car was a very, very interesting name back in COVID times. Car moved to the downside as everyone was renting cars. Nice move to the downside there for Car. What's that looking like on a daily? Not too much, but still breaks that shelf. Making the move right now down for CAR. Crazy day at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
Energy names upside with global tension sort of seems to be rising up a little bit right here. XLE 0.81. Yeah, we got Gilead already. So Gilead, she's got the numbers. It's a nice move up to 99 right there. Looks like 190 versus 170. What do you got on GILD?
Yeah, I mean, for the earnings per share, 190 versus 170, expected that as a beat. Sales here actually up 6% year over year, 7.569 billion versus 7.137 billion expected. Excuse me, they also reported their fiscal 2024 sales for the year. So their Biktarvy sales up 13% year over year. Don't know what that is, but that's up. 12% year over year increase in oncology sales and 8% increase in total product sales. So good stuff, not only for Q4, but also for the fiscal year for GILD. Let's see what CRISPR is up to. CRSP. You're not getting burnt to a crisp or anything right now here for CRSP. Decent short float for that one. I have the numbers. I'm not seeing how they compare to estimates. I'm reading through their report right now, saying they have a strong balance sheet. Yeah, most of these numbers are just them talking about their outlook. So I'm going to wait till I have an actual number here. It's less of an earning, like number-focused report and more them just kind of summarizing stuff.
All right, thank you for that one as we go. So we'll have the daily chart up here on the left and the actual move up here on our big screen. So, okay, here we go, man. Today was an interesting day because we had Powell talk. So if you see here on the triple Qs, that was at 10 o'clock. So if we actually go into, and we're going to have SMCI, so thank you so much for joining. That should be a good one. Let me just get rid of this. There's 10 o'clock basically on the triple Qs. We started to go to the upside, and then we got faded out. As Powell seemed to help one sector for sure, it looks like banking right there goes out near the highs today, up 0.2. So not a huge day, but as opposed to the triple Qs that were actually down, NASDAQ down today, XLF upside, JP Morgan today touched great levels, man, up to 375. That's pretty much all-time highs. Looks like 377 and change for JP Morgan. Supermicro's out. SMCI is now out. So here we go. Let's go over right now and flip that. Oh, there it goes. Supermicro right now on a 3-minute chart is starting to head to the downside. We will get those numbers for you, but right now Supermicro is now out. Skaboom to the downside right there as we start to go right now. She's going to have them for us. That is Adara right now. There's an issue? What is it?
We were looking for numbers. Once again, we got preliminary Q2 2025 numbers. You know what that means? They haven't filed anything yet.
Okay.
So that's why they probably said results update. I don't know. But here they are.
It's
Q2,
bleeding.
Again, preliminary 2025 numbers here. Net sales still 54% year over year. They're seeing them between 5.7 and 5.6 billion. So again, not an actual number. Analysts are looking for 5.8 billion. That is a miss. They said GAAP and non-GAAP gross margin here between 11.8 and 11.9%. GAAP diluted net income per common share, also a slight miss here, 50 cents to 52 cents. We were expecting 54 cents here. And also, that is actually flat year over year for them. So it's not a great look for them. And again, these are not, we were supposed to get actual numbers. We're getting prelim numbers for the, I think, second time in a row at least for SMCI.
So right now, we're down 25%. So SMCI right now, really getting kicked to the downside right now, down into $32. I'm just going to try to log in to see a live level 2 right now of SMCI. This is what it looks like on a daily chart. Remember, we actually called this. I said that there's going to be traders that are probably trapped. Wrong password. Okay, I got to figure that out. That are probably trapped in this name. We said that some traders will be buying in and around here on SMCI. So it's got to hold $30. We could see where that number is right now. Let's drop an anchored VWAP right there on SMCI. From that bottom, looks like right into there, $33. So we're trying to hold right now on SMCI. LYFT is now out. So there goes LYFT right now. A nice move to the upside. They just authorized a buyback here with LYFT. We'll get those numbers for you in just a second. But Supermicro now, 700 million new convertible senior notes as well for SMCI. There goes LYFT, man. Let's check out what's going on with Uber. Uber not having too much of an effect there, but it's LYFT right now to the downside. Not lifting the market in the after hours are these two names, man. This has been a disaster. SMCI, okay. So I guess they don't like that there's no report, Adara, but they like something. SMCI was just down 25%, now only down 17% right here. As Supermicro coming back in, they actually see net sales of 5 to 6 billion with adjusted EPS between 46 and 62. That's pretty wide.
Yeah, the only thing I'm really seeing here for SMCI that might be positive, apparently they said they're still cooperating with the Department of Justice and the SEC following those allegations there by Hindenburg late last year. Hindenburg actually now defunct. Then we also have here, apparently the company said they're expecting to file their delayed reports by February 25th, and they better, because if they don't, they risk delisting. So that is not like a cute soft deadline. That is a hard deadline. They're supposed to file these reports by February 25th. Now, in terms of LYFT, things like LYFT, Uber.
Supermicro's green.
Yeah, oh, wow, okay. So LYFT, what I will say here, it looks like they did beat on, okay, they announced a $500 million buyback, as you mentioned. They did, looks like they beat on
Supermicro.
I'm seeing 1.55 bill for LYFT revenue as the estimate, and they actually reported 1.6. So they beat 27% year-over-year increase in revenue, 15% year-over-year increase in gross bookings for LYFT.
Yeah. Supermicro right now. Let's go over to this one right now. Supermicro's absolutely huge right now. No idea what just happened right there. Supermicro just went up 20%. It was down 25%. You saw that live right here. Here's a live level 2 right now of Supermicro. Supermicro's going insane right now. Adair, we got to find out what's going on. Supermicro, yeah, I know, we're all over this right now. They lowered their FY25 revenue outlook, but still from 26 to 30. Huge move. This is going absolutely. Pardon me?
You mentioned the convertible notes. I'm thinking it might be the convertible notes because people keep posting about the convertible notes.
Okay, so there it is. Senior notes due 2028. So again, it looks like they'll be able to raise some money here to stay, I guess, afloat. I didn't know that was going to be a problem. But right now, Supermicro kicking it old school style, going down 25%. Now right back up 20%. Man, I'm glad I convinced Sharif never to trade after hours because there's a big move to the downside. Then whoops, right there to the upside. Super scam micro maybe right now. Is that just like some people would have gotten washed out down there? Right there goes Supermicro to the downside. So
Dash and Upstart as well out.
All right, there it is right now. Okay, so there's more news coming about the DOJ now with SMCI. So there's going to be lots of stuff happening right now. LYFT, again, downside for LYFT. We did talk a little bit about that. What do we wait for? We wait for Upstart. So right here, Upstart, I believe, is also out right now. Upstart, wow, we missed this one, Adara. Upstart up 10% right now as they're starting to go up there now. Is that affecting SoFi or anything like that, or a firm maybe for Upstart as well? Nice move there. Zillow now out as well. Ciao, Zillow. What, no one's buying homes anymore? What's going on right there? It's a nice downside move for Zillow. It looks like right now, down 10%. Check bit quickly on SMCI. Adara, it looks like we're not moving too much at all right now on SMCI. Right back to the close. If we come over to the chart, Ramin, we'll just do that real quick. There it is right there. $39 on SMCI, holding pretty good. So what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so actually, as I mentioned there, we do have Upstart and we have DoorDash. I can talk about DoorDash first because they're down here. Q4 EPS in line with estimates, 33 cents. Sales missing estimates, 2.51 bill versus 2.84 bill expected. They said they currently expect adjusted EBITDA to increase on a sequential basis going forward. But yeah, I mean, I think the fact that they missed on revenue inline EPS, not great. Let's take a look at Upstart, though, because Upstart is not Downstart, certainly starting to the upside over there for UPST. Keep in mind, they moved 45% in their last earnings. So basically, adjusted EPS beat here. They were expecting a loss. They actually reported a profit for Q4. They also had a sales beat for UPST. And they said they're expecting fiscal 2025 revenue of $1 billion versus estimates of $838 million. So that is a nice beat for FY25 revenue estimates. So SMCI, you mentioned the DOJ. As I said, I think it might just be that headline I said earlier. They said they're still cooperating with the DOJ because there's nothing significant with that.
Whew, all right, big time movements here. We did some talk about gold. Gold did retrace just a little bit today. But again, we talked about this being in your portfolio down here at 253. It's now up to 267. Gold's had quite the run. This is a daily on GLD. An easy way to invest in this one, GLD. The gold miners is GDX, of course. So although not a great day today, we talked about it's right down there as GLD. Uranium, TAN. I mean, some of these uranium plays today, like in SMR, just some downside push, man. 5% downside today for SMRs. We got pretty much to that top again. I mean, we got to 28 and change. That might be a good opportunity to sell. Let's go over just some earnings quickly because that's why everyone's here. I want to thank all 7,000 of you for staying with us right now. There goes Upstart right now, 80. So nice move up 12% now for Upstart as that goes. Everyone's here for SMCI though, right? I mean, SMCI right now, basically all for naught. Down 20%, up 20%. Chill. So right now, SMCI just at these levels. Adair dropping the knowledge there in the chat, or going to let us know.
Yeah, I'm just dropping there.
Yeah,
right now.
perfect. So get in the chat right now. Thank you for all the subscribers. And I want to thank everybody today for everything that happened, what we did on the show today. We got over 500,000, 1,000 liking this show right now. Over 500,000 subscribers today on Trader TV Live. So thank you so much for that. As we broke records, I looked down, we had 14,000 watching us live today around 10 o'clock. So again, thank you to everybody for all the help getting us where we are. Big shout out to our guy, Bears vs. Bulls. We are located in lovely Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We'll wait for Brian Shannon, man. This guy's one of the best coming out very, very soon. He's not here now. Yeah, that's okay. We'll wait for him. If he does come through, we'll talk to Brian Shannon about earnings. But we don't need any of this because we've got what we've got right now, and that is earnings. Adair and I are going to take you through all of this.
Yeah.
So Upstart, again, was looking at $80. Wow. Upstart still going, 81.20 right now. Upstart, look where we are. We are almost at these highs. But don't kid yourself with Upstart. They still have a while to go before we get back up to highs. Upstart was a $400 stock at once. This is what it looks like on the weekly. But what a great break that would be there on the weekly. If Brian does come, I want to talk to him about this one. Look at this move for Upstart. Look at this break of $92. If that can go, I like what we're talking about right now with Upstart. On the month, though, just getting back to where we need it to be, right into this level. We'll see if we can continue an upside move on that for them on the month. And then on the daily chart, at the 50 period, nice move up. SMCI, we'll get more talk about that, but right now you are seeing a little bit of a move down again. Just heard something about reconfirming some of their statements. So we have it in their ear, so as more and more comes out, yeah, Dare will get it all. But there it is. Thank you so much to, I haven't seen you yet, man, BSE Jit there. Can't imagine your day without hearing it. So, oh boy, he says again. So thank you to Obi for the oh boy, and thank you to all of us, including you, Adair, and everybody here, because we're just really proud of the moment that we're able to have here today, getting over 500,000 viewers. All right, so we have live. I'm just keep on looking here as we go. Edwards Life Sciences just came out right now. It looks like you're chomping at the bit for something.
Well, I was just going to say, it's funny, too, that you mentioned, oh boy, because Confluent reported today that is a real company, and they're up on the day. I believe they beat estimates as well, so I wanted to mention the thing with Confluent. With regards to SMCI, yeah, in terms of the things they reiterated, they basically just said that they're going to continue to be cooperating during their various investigations. In case anyone missed it, they did report earnings, but they didn't report actual earnings. They reported preliminary numbers once again, and those preliminary numbers were below estimates, so not a great look there. Though it is worth noting their revenue was still up 54% year over year, but their EPS oddly flat, and again, still below what the analysts were expecting. Yeah, Confluent did beat on EPS and on sales. Adam DeLuce, was mentioning DoorDash actually up year over year in terms of their numbers. That is correct, but DoorDash as a company, I mean, I know a little bit because like my friend used to work there, so I'm like, I don't know, a little messy. But I will say too, and this is not insider trading, it's over a year ago. But the other thing I will say with Dash is they did have inline EPS and they missed on sales. Okay, so there you go. So we'll have a quick look at DoorDash. I want to say thank you to RFID Trader. It says thank you, Sean, another green day, emulating your trades. You can come over to the chat right now on 2x ETFs. So great job there for RFID Trader. And I mean, for me, here's SMCI, 37 and change. This is a live level 2 right now of SMCI. Look, this was my Tesla trade right there at the end of the day. We'll talk about this with Brian. We didn't get involved with Tesla until it finally broke right there. That low of the day broke at 5 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, and then we ran that all the way back into 325 and got some of those names. So good move down there for Tesla. We actually went 5 for 5 today. So I was pretty on fire with some of the ideas that we had here today, including this end of the day monster actually on the futures. It looks very, very choppy in there, but it was this move back in for the futures. Nice trade there at the end of the day. We'll talk about all of this and more when we are ready with Brian. I think that's going to be very, very momentarily. So SMCI now $37. Quick little look before we go over to Brian. LYFT, downside move down 11%. Its implied move was 10%. So bang, you guys hit the short on that. Congratulations for LYFT. Are we getting near an area of support?
Yes, we are. 1270, 1273. Again, Brian will tell me if I'm doing this right, but I'm going to go to this August low right here and say, where is the anchored VWAP from there? We're right here, right now, actually a little underneath it at 1350 for that. Or maybe you can draw. I never really draw anchors from the highs. I wonder if that is something as well. We could talk to Brian about that, maybe for a short there on LYFT. But that's that for LYFT. Derek just brought up DoorDash. So again, SMCI, relatively disappointing. If you played this name with options, you've lost because it's pretty much a flat move, right? I mean, we were down 5% today, and then add this move in there. I guess we must have been down more than 5% because we closed out the day on SMCI at 38.80. So it's only down $1.30 right now on SMCI. DoorDash, I thought was going to be the, D-A-S-H. F-dash, D-A-S-H, right there. DoorDash, as Adara mentioned, the biggest winner it looks like so far here today. DoorDash, SMCI, what one did we forget? LYFT. Oh, Zillow, I thought.
Zillow.
No, Zillow was downside, so that's a negative name there. Oh, it was Gilead. So again, another nice move into the space there. All right, I believe we are ready. Would I be correct? I would. It's Brian Shannon time. All right, Mr. Brian Shannon, how are you doing on this fine day?
Not as good as you. I didn't have my best P&L day of the year, Sean. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
500,000 on YouTube. Couple of big milestones for the day.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get this smile off my face, and we ended it with that nice trade in Tesla. You want to talk about Tesla real quick? I mean, I know you posted some stuff about year to date and election VWAPs and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is a name, it looks like, Brian, that's really fallen out of favor. I mean, I feel like right now it seems to me political, and that it's like anything that comes out of Elon or that side seems to have been. People are taking it as a conservative view, maybe, but the market continues to go down. And I don't like the fact that maybe he's involved in TikTok, maybe he's involved in OpenAI. What do you think about Tesla and anything that the charts are telling you?
I think you're right. People are voting with their shares here, and they're saying we've had enough for a little bit. We're getting pretty oversold here, and I would expect a bounce of some sort in the coming days, but there's no evidence of it whatsoever. What we had occurring, Sean, I think we've discussed this, is that election anchor. That has been a key level because it kind of showed the sentiment of what people thought of Elon being involved in the administration since the election. And, you know, once we gave way of that last week, it's been just straight down. So, you know, coming into that anchor, we saw lower highs, more repeated tests of support. And as we know, the more time support is tested, the more likely it is to fail. And that's exactly what we have. So we're down to the anchor off of the late August low, but we could still be heading down for the anchor from the August low itself, which would bring it down towards that 312 level. So if people are looking at this as a bounce area, then you know, just look for the evidence on the shorter term time frame. It's simply not there yet. I think that, you know, unlike most people, Sean, who are looking for the bounce, you're doing it right. I mean, we're below a daily VWAP. There's no business buying a stock like that.
Okay, so Tesla goes to the downside. I guess it's not a great time to tell you that I did nibble a little bit today on this move down. Another name that
short this afternoon.
Oh, I was, but in the long term, I bought a little bit, put it away, see what winds up happening there. Maybe eventually we'll all be these robots and we'll figure it all out. I finally did sell a little bit today, and tell me, so it looks like I made a mistake maybe buying Tesla in the long term. But you know what I did today? I finally trimmed a little bit of Palantir. So it's had this monster move up, man. It's almost up basically 10x in the year, not this year, year to date, rolling 52 weeks. But it's pulling back a little bit. Should we be nervous if you come over to even my chart? Like, this might be, again, we've had that huge move up off earnings. You can see with the yellow line, it's only a week since earnings. Finally, a nice little red candle. What if we lose this 110? Is there a support area for Palantir, or are you one of those guys that says all gaps get filled? Because if that winds up happening, then we'll look a little foolish holding on to so many of these back down to 85. What's your take on Palantir?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of all gaps get filled. I think that's one of the most foolish things that people hang on to in the
Right.
market. They read a technical analysis book. If because a lot of people were waiting for the February of
Yeah,
2024, gap to get filled before they purchase the stock, and they've been left out of this entire move. Just the November gap still hasn't gotten filled. So instead, you take it shorter term timeframes. When we look here at a 10-minute time frame, here's the anchor from the gap, and we had a little bit of profit taking off of earnings, and then buyers regained control. So I think that realistically, for right now, this seems like your key level at about 108. If we continue to hold above that, we can potentially add to these gains. It is a little stretch to the upside. So even if we were to break below that, it might lead to a little bit deeper profit taking, but I am not one of those people who feels that you've got to close those gaps, Sean.
Thank you so much for being here, Brian, with us once again.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask here, I know you were posting about Astera Labs on X last week, talking about their interactions with AVWAP. They actually reported yesterday. So do you have any thoughts on A Lab at this point? Is this something you're still looking at right now?
I traded it for a bounce simply. I just, I saw it come into the anchor from last year. I'm from the IPO in the 61.8% retracement. I did get involved in that. I didn't hold it all the way up to the anchor from the election, but I was pointing out that, we had it come, from one anchor from the IPO all the way up to the anchor that we met from the blue year to date and the election anchor. And, when you put those together, that really kind of showed how these anchors work. I was using it as more as an example for that. Are they reporting today, Adara? Or have
They reported last night after the close. So earnings day one was today.
Yeah, that's not much of a reaction, I suppose, but we are back below the anchor from that big gap down, so maybe we need to go retest this 80 level. I just don't see an advantage in there, not from a swing trade perspective.
All right, thank you for that. Great question, Adara, by the way, bringing up that into earnings. Tesla, by the way, Brian, it's going lower here in the after hours as we kind of closed out there at 329, a nice fade into 327 and change. Everyone's probably wondering what's up with this handsome gentleman. Well, I'm just going to show you right now. This is Brian Shannon. We want to thank him for coming on. He's not leaving yet. I want everyone to go follow this at Alpha Trends right here on X, man. Also a great subscription service. We've talked about that. Go find Brian, one of the best guys to follow there on X, aka Twitter. And also, Ramin, right now, maximum trading gains with anchored VWAP. We can go pick this up on Amazon, correct?
Correct, Sean.
All right, there it is. Thank you. No problem. Great book. Again, Adara's read it. We've all read that. We love that book. All right, SMCI today. I know we don't like catching these sort of falling swords and everything like that. We just sort of talked about what was going on with Tesla. But Brian, maybe this is a lesson to everybody. Why trade earnings, especially when they get dropped? This name went down 25%, then straight back up 20%, all within the same 2 or 3 minutes, then another move back in, and now it looks like we'll hover a little higher than close right there on SMCI. Again, filing issues with them. They were at one point going to get delisted. SMCI right now working. I'm not sure where to drop where to drop an anchor on this or what the right play might be, but I dropped one right into here on that November low, and it looks like we kind of faded right off or dropped into that price of 33 and change right there on the anchor. Do you see anything interesting on SMCI?
Yeah, kind of the same thing, Sean. The gap down in October, that's that purple one. I just dropped that in there. And I think where you have it is just as appropriate as, on all my charts, I've got this orange one, which is from the election. So this general zone in here, that looks like where we've bounced, back from so far. But man, that's some real volatility there after hours.
Yeah, that really, has that ever been something that you've looked to trade at all, Brian, there, like after hours plays, or you're just a guy, maybe let's leave it even? I used to have a rule of 3 days, like let it settle down. So it'll come out the day after. Sometimes it's crazy, people getting washed out. Then the next day you'll get upgrades or downgrades, and you try to figure that all out, maybe even the same day. And it's like day 3 and day 4, it's kind of settling down, and then you could get a good base. Do you have any sort of unique rules like that around earnings?
No, I think that's a good rule, Sean. And I've kind of thought of that in a similar way, 3 days. Steve Gomez over at Trade
Yep.
Ideas, he's kind of a big fan of that 3-day rule as well. I think that, the people who rush in there, sometimes you get lucky on it, but I've seen, more times than not, they just continue to go lower. I was looking at DEC, for instance, DECK, and this one is just getting annihilated since their earnings report, and it just does not hold on to any levels. So maybe you can trade them for little bounces intraday like we saw last week right in here. But man, once they start coming back down again, don't be complacent.
No, exactly. Great point there. We've been taking a lot of questions from the audience and sort of some in-play names for now. Is there anything that maybe you've dropped to your subscribers that we can talk about right now? Over 5,000 people watching. Is there a name that maybe you're looking at, earnings or not, or just something that looks great on the charts that we can discuss?
Sure. One of the earnings that I had high on my list that reported today, is this Confluent, and they're having a good session after hours so far. I like this one because when you look at the weekly chart, it's got this big base, and it looks like this is the type of stock that could be entering a stage 2 uptrend and might be, setting off. This could be the ignition that gets this thing going for the next 6-9 months or so. So I would definitely pay a lot more attention to a stock like this one than SMCI. Everyone wants to go for the name brand, but for me, This is a chart that's, looking like it held all the key levels. It's breaking out, so that one's likely to provide some good upside opportunities. Just a regular swing trade, MIDD. This one, it's been pulling back nicely, but the thing is, it just keeps pulling back. So I'm not ready to buy this one, but I've been looking at it as it's making these lower highs and lower lows. So the people who look at it and say, yeah, it broke that resistance, and it's a nice flag here on the daily time frame. Well, that flag is just it's just limping here in the wind. It hasn't firmed up yet. Once it starts to firm up and starts breaking back above that 5-day moving average, that MIDD is one I have a close eye on, Sean.
Okay, MIDD, that Confluent there, just signed a deal for more cloud stuff. So that looks like a good idea there as well in the after hours. People asking about SMCI as you talk. It doesn't look like it's doing much. Remember, call, I think, is ongoing in Dara right now for SMCI. We'll check that, but right now, moving around just a little bit there. All right, I have another name for you here, and it's Upstart. I want you to check out the weekly chart on Upstart. So it's UPST. They just came out right now, and I actually just found this right now. I actually called up a weekly. If you come over to my screen, to me, this is looking pretty interesting. Maybe a break. Now, of course, we get this huge move up. It was a very, very highly, I'm not sure if you recall this, Brian, but they basically IPO'd in COVID. They come out there. It was a huge short float. It ripped up monstrous in November of 21, where a lot of names got crazy up there to 400. But look what we see right here. It looks like we're just trying to clear back about 3 years back into this weekly chart, and right now trying to poke its head above 100. Have we maybe found something here on Upstart? What about a 100 break, or even earlier than that, in and around this like 90, 91 or so area? What do you think about Upstart? I might have found a gem here on a weekly chart, or are we just digging for something here?
No, I think you did indeed, Sean. It's had that, as I like to say, if they don't scare you out, they'll wear you out.
Exactly.
After this thing peaked in 2021, and dropped down, it went sideways for 2.5 years and just completely wasted people's time. Now it's back above the anchor from the IPO. That's this blue anchor right in here.
Yep.
And then, so actually it's purple, and from the all-time high. So the average participant who's been averaging down from that peak is in a winning position. So we're seeing that this prior little resistance was holding as support. Now we've got this ignition. So very similar to CFLT, it looks like it has the potential that this stock could, I think, yes, go to, start doing something along the lines of this. That's what we're looking for on those weekly charts.
Yes. All right. I'm always feeling good when I get a guy like Brian agreeing with what we might have looked for there. But again, price will tell the truth, right? I mean, we'll wait to figure out what happens. And we keep stocks in penalty boxes until that time is expired and they can get back out, as my daughter spends a lot of time in the penalty box, that is for sure. All right, Brian, anchored VWAP, maximum, I can pick it. Oh, there, I got it. Maximum trading gains. It's just so heavy. There's so much in here. Maximum trading gains with anchored VWAP as well. Go find you at Alpha Trends. Is there anything happening? I know you do a lot of work daily, but do you have a big call scheduled? Anything you want to talk about in the next coming days or weeks?
I won't be here with you next Tuesday, Sean.
Okay.
I'll be in Las Vegas for I think it's the Money Show or the Traders Expo. I'm
Ooh,
not
I like
really
that.
sure what they call it. So if anybody is out there, say hello. I'm doing their poker tournament next Tuesday night. I think it's at 7:30. So
Okay.
come by and say hi if you're in Las Vegas.
That'd be absolutely fantastic. Hey, if anybody has an extra ticket or something, I mean, I'm sitting right here. Well, I'd love to join you. Thank you, Brian Shannon, an absolutely fantastic guest, and you will be missed next week. Good luck at the tables. Good luck there in Vegas, and good luck with all of your trades. It's Brian Shannon. Thank you, my fine friend.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Sean. Good night, everybody.
That's it. That's Trader Talk. Thank you, Brian. Man, just a straight up, I don't know. I've really come to enjoy, obviously, having Brian on the show again. Great ideas, easy to understand, and just boom. We really like Brian Shannon and want to thank him for coming. 350,000 or so followers there on Twitter. So go follow him. He's a great follow as well. All right, after all that hoopla, Dara.
So much hoopla.
I mean, we had over 7,000 of you watching. We want to thank all of you for that. We also had 500,000 today. So we don't have Sharif here to hit it about 5,000 times, so we'll hit the bang on
You would
that.
hit it 500,000 times.
Bang, 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 bang. I'm really glad that we actually did that. I remember when we first started the show, you want to talk about memory lane,
Yeah.
I was like, because I used to watch Kramer, and he hits these all the time.
Oh.
He has different noises, bang, booms, this and that. And I was like, get me the Stream Deck, let's do it. Some of these, this graphic is 5 years old.
I mean, it's aged pretty
At
well.
least. I mean, and then the oh my God, I don't have it here, but it's been really, really a great time, and we look to add more and more to this as well. But Supermicro disappointing, I guess.
I mean, the fact that was disappointing is they didn't actually deliver earnings. In case anyone missed it, yes, SMCI gave us numbers. No, those numbers were not official. They are, once again, preliminary. So that's bad because we want SMCI to be able to report by or file by February 25th, or they risk NASDAQ
Oh,
delisting.
no.
That's going to be a really big week, though, that last week of February, because we have that NASDAQ delisting kerfuffle, February 25th deadline, then 26th we have NVIDIA.
All right, everybody, I want to thank everybody. We got to do that with a roll call. All right, just real quick, man. We're going to try to be quick. We got to go, man. We got Ramin and Fabian here, so there's like double duty here. We're going to get in trouble. All right, what's up to Canna Club Chicago? He's here. I think he said he was going to put a tattoo of you on his
you don't
face.
need to
But
do
what does
that.
that even mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but shout out to you
Don't worry
as well. Charlie Taff, Mohammed is here as well. Charlie's holding that Tesla short from yesterday, so that was a great call by him. Mark is here. H. Zubar is here as well. Let's go. James Dell. You're right. This is old school Batman. That's exactly where we got it from, man.
Yeah, I love
Bang,
that.
boom, bop,
Pow.
all this pow, ching chang. I don't know, whatever it was, man. There it goes. But Juan Padilla, anybody else catching your eye here, Adara?
Yeah, I mean, we got Drop Trade, Silverado Blue, Sir MM, Kurt Hutchings, Pro Day Trader, Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you to everything you do and for your role in this community. Great community. Shout out. Ron Miller, I'm not going to read that one. Christian Rory, the Stock Professor, T-Man, Rajesh, Bag Holder Trading. I like that one. And we have Jay Lee, Paco, or Crypto FOMO. So many people. Thank you so much to all of you. Shout out to 500,000. Thank you guys. Remember when I first watched, it was like 408,000 when I was like tuning in. So good times. Time flies.
These are my dance moves now. It's just like this. You gotta get the drinks in the. Anyways, all right. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It's been such a great day, and we topped it off with a great recap show. There's more earnings all week, so make sure you join us every single day at 4:30 or 4 o'clock right after into 4:30, and then we go live at 8:30 the very next day. Make sure you sign up for our watch list. Scan that QR code immediately. Thank you, Ramin, for staying late. Thank you to Brian Shannon. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls. Thank you to everybody. Potato.
Humphrey.
Tomorrow. Ciao.
See ya.